今日は EU やっていきたいと思います。なんかヒロイック出てるけど、誰だこれ一番右。アナーキックって誰？メンバー変わったのか？サブにいたっけかな？アナリストの人じゃないこの人。違うのかな？誰だろう？見ていきたいと思います。
Average squad. Now, I will say that two things. I thought it was the last time doing this. Past. They know they're going to get a hit in terms of their kills with an arcade coming in, but they expect Astro to make up for that in the extra IGL.
I want to know on the law, if any of the writers are here, does Carly make Ace pay rent? Yes, we are here on Night Haven Labs. If you're unfamiliar with it, it is new, obviously, with the recent map, but we had both Night Haven and the new version Consulate added.
結構新マップみんなやり始めたな。
Yeah, so a bit of a refreshment coming into the map pool here, and I'm glad to see it's instantly being picked up because I remember seasons where it took like 3, 4, like up to play day 7 or 8 before the new map finally got played. So we already get the constant last play day. We're getting Night Haven laps now, so everything is in rotation now.
That is 2 for 2, sort of heroic as well. Obviously, they were our consular team versus G2 last time. They got 1 round away on the new map, and I surprisingly agree with the desk. I think this is a smart decision by Heroic. They've pulled in an Arca because it's sort of, you know, I guess from our perspective, last minute, the announcement was about 40 minutes, 50 minutes ago. But the more thought went into it, you assume so. But still, you're against BDS. You're against a machine that loves to win and most importantly needs to win. They're one of only 2.
They're with 1 point.
Because you're probably going to see them get control above. And that's what Brede is going to do here. They've got the open hatch. It is very easy to put some pressure down onto the players, especially as you look to the right. That room is entirely soft above the double wall. There's a lot of danger, and that means that BDS, they have to stretch the hold up, and it starts here on the top floor as Heroic start to try and knock their way in.
You already see sauce almost going off near the warehouse as well, so truly an attack on all different kind of areas in the map coming through here as Blaz. It's looking to lean into a fight. It's actually June that finds the very first enter in Shiro, and they're already in the building. Looking to clear out that top floor, making sure they have that under control, as LM's leaning in for the kill there, but missing it twice. Now, having to fall back through the hatch most likely to the first floor.
I mean, look at this. Heroic. June's able to get one more. They just hit the top floor, running, screamed their way across from the opposite side, and BDS just haven't really had a reaction. Obviously, took it on the meeting side. They're still trying to get some clear. You can see, you know, EFAX holding just at the bottom of the actual stairs, waiting for somebody to try and make a route back down. Brede's on top of the hatch as well. The fight's about to swing around the corner, and he wins it out. Importantly, they're at least able to buy one body, and on that call, they pull themselves back. As I said, the danger of the soft on the top 2 floors means that they steadily will lose some of the comfort of the space, and you can even see there from Astro, he's a bit curious where they're going to try and fight their way back up some stairs.
Now, due to the fact that the attack was coming in from every single angle, as soon as you managed to flush one out, is that Nitro doesn't quite hit Joom. They were ready, especially Joom was ready to just cut off those rotations, pick up those kills. That leaves them in that 1-man advantage right now as the breaches start going off. There is 2 more heart breach gadgets they can use to open up a hatch like that. I believe they've already opened up to warehouse as well. I'm not quite sure if they actually opened up from the basement directly, but given that the way and the places that these players are currently located, I don't think they would even eye up through the outside breaches right now.
I mean, you look at all those breach marks. EFAC's trying to watch up from one, and Joom's trying to look down onto the other one. And as I said, and I've highlighted a couple times, that is such a big danger. Now, the drop through here, just in the garage hatch, on towards Animals, maybe to try and sneak some control here onto Tank. The left sort of western side of this map is what they're trying to get a little bit of a stranglehold on and just force the players out of that roam. There's the drop. Astro gets himself tucked around into the back with some safety on the back end as an arm kick. Goes for the tuck into the close corner. Going for the plant just on the side of Animus. Brede wins the first fight. They pull off the plant at the second and take the fight to the door. But now it's just Joom in a 1 versus 1 with a triple kill. 13 seconds. Trying to find the final player. He's got a good idea of where they've gone, but they've gone. That's the important part right now. He needs to get down, win an engagement. He's got the pistol, he's got the kit. He runs almost straight past the man. He can't find him, holds the plant. But it's just a pop round the corner. How you doing? Not very well.
Way too close there in the end. BDS able to fight back just in time. Drop that diffuser, and a very, very
落ち着いてたな。まあ平面割らなきゃ地下は広く守れるからな。
Saw some of the Kiba barriers being set up around the warehouse mezzanines, and I'd like to compare it a little bit to Garage in Clubhouse. However, there's going to be a door on the same level as you, which makes Lem's position just a little bit more dangerous where he's playing out here, because he can be taken down from multiple different angles rather than just from the breach itself. Still has a good opportunity to waste a lot of time here, and especially as Anarchic already opens up the breach near the garage side of things, it kind of locks him in a little bit.
They're seeing if they can try and get the wall opened up towards the meeting halls and the connector side, put some pressure onto the back end of the site, maybe draw some attention away from the player. If you're going to use the clubhouse analogy, it's like putting pressure onto sort of construction, onto logistics on the back end. You're getting them away from Garage and sort of going, well, actually, we're playing around here. We're going for this take, and there's the first Anarchic. Sort of step in, has had his head ripped off by Shaiko through the soft. There's a steady rotation around Astro. He doesn't want to entirely throw himself into the region of this fight. Shaiko has the ability to try and impact trick against these ace charges. There's the swing that comes around the corner potentially, but it's underneath. Efak gets Blaz after he picked up the pieces of Astro. There's Shaiko pushing back in. And BDS have just cut them up in the connector.
Some vertical angles that we spoke about. Just even if you walk through the breach, you could have been seen all the way from that one angle. Now, Heroic on the try and see if they can salvage it. A grenade pops in, but they're not able to do any damage with it. They're actually being hunted as well. Shaiko's roaming over the top, looking down these verticals, but he's aware of the fact there's still someone up there. Second grenade will pop, and that's going to make him look again through these holes that just have been made. Doom, as he gives away his position, is Likafak going for that hunt. Shaiko does get taken down, but it's only up to Kayak now in a 1v4 situation with a minute left on the clock. Fuse in one hand. It's a lot of work to do for one man.
For all the talk I sort of said of Heroic saying, you know, we're putting the pressure over here, trying to draw them out, it seems like what they were drawn into was a perfectly set trap. The vertical control was there. Shaiko sort of gleefully stepped away, saying, oh no, come get me, come get me. They got him, Efak underneath. Tore through them, and again, this is that idea. We're up against
BDS さんキレキレやな。
Now they're going to be going towards the first floor after this rehouse is done. Can be destroyed. A lot of verticality.
It is a blunt instrument, a shield or a little bit here. It's why they've made the swap, is to sort of allow the late calls to come from a more direct source of Anarchic and let the gun game start to hopefully pop off from those that can. And, well, if that's something that gets shut down here, the more and more BDS can put the pressure onto that. The more and more Heroic might get into their own heads of, well, maybe this change hasn't worked.
It's definitely something they don't need now. They need to have instant results, given how short these seasons are. First grenade comes around. Bree is waiting to play in contact here and is going to reinforce right after the Kiba pops up, because it's a little bit of cover, making sure there's no direct follow-up to come in from that hallway. Now they've opened up the breach, and you know, he just feels a little bit safer out there as they're trying to hold on to that top floor. Again, I mentioned it's going to be very important because verticality is going to be key. It's going to be able to be used for so many things, just dislocating players on the actual defense itself. And thus they need to try and waste even more utility to get rid of these players and the utility on the top floor.
Well, here comes the time in the break, and obviously with the Kaid gone, you know where those charges are going to be, so the impact EMPs can be very direct and get you the results that you want. They've bought a lot of time here. We have all 10 players still standing, and just as long as we've got it. But as I say that, Efak suffers, I'm assuming, from June on the long angle, all the way out there, waiting for the player to just sort of eke past their way IT, and well, now they're trying to break their way in. And Arctic, though, they're the next to suffer, and he's looking at the floor first because he just doesn't know. Well, he may as well have been looking anywhere with the C4. Bree gets Kayak just after he gets one, but there's a second to make up for his lost teammate. Suddenly, 4 versus 2 is upon us, and Astro is upon the top, perhaps waiting for somebody to move as Doom is turning himself a little bit further forward to drop the crouch. The awkward position he's in means, you know, that could happen from any of 3 ways, and it leaves Doom alone.
C4 popping just as the diffuser is getting recovered by Doom, but again, 50 seconds, and all he really has is this top floor under control and these vertical angles to work with. Deals a lot of damage to Bree, but doesn't quite get the kill as they now return fire upon him. Just waiting patiently. Here's Shaiko just using that sound to try and figure out where he's going, which entry he might be taking. He's firing right above him. He's just rethinking his position right there. Doesn't want to be the next one to potentially find some shots through the floorboards.
Well, there's pings on a player, but he's got 20 seconds, and he's got 4 players to get through at this point. He at least has the kit, but, you know, you're still, once again, going down to the site because, once again, BDS, they've played the vertical fantastically. They've really had a watch on all of the motions, all of the sort of actions that are going through the C4 play, and the drop came around, they reacted from multiple different angles. Even with a Valkyrie with soft.
キッチン守ってるチームそこそこいたよ。
We mentioned if that opportunity do love a naughty angle here or there, especially with their reaction skills. So you really need to deal with that directly. Also, the ram is being brought as we back towards the basement site. I guess that is to just open it up a bit more safely, not having to worry about someone instantly firing back at you as you use a sledgehammer.
So, those Selmas might get activated a little bit longer. I love the jammer there on the top floor to just slow things out. And I was kind of curious if we would see the ram on the top left. I almost expected it to happen on BDS. Swinger Lambs has obviously played ram once previously, and on this site you can get some good sort of motion going in the ocean if the ocean is made out of wooden floorboards.
It isn't. Oh, sorry to break it to you. Yeah.
Oh.
It's made of H2O. A little bit of NaCl in there.
Wow, okay, you've lost me. I don't know. Doom seems to not have lost Friday, who sat tucked in at the bottom of Aqua Stairs, just on the swing, as Astro slowly creeps his way down to lobby. They want to see if they can try and get the pinch on this player from the back end. And with Kayak curious as well, Bride is just able to slink onto one side. They actually find EFAC before they get to where I thought that fight would happen.
コーチかなんかだよね。
Of Warehouse, I believe that was. So BDS just got out of there. It seems like BDS have not only picked up that, well, we lost 2 people on the early smash, they've also picked up that Heroic are approaching much slower.
シーズン中帰ってこないの?
About before, where Heroic had to spend a lot of time weighing up the site.
なんでだ?
Well, they haven't been able to do that, and Alems is sneakily, I believe, it's still around Aqua. Yes. There he is. Just at the top of CC stairs.
だってもうね、新しい人も
Not taking top floor.
Nope.
They're just going for the first floor. Blaz is still out on the second. Might be actually droning Lems out right now. No. It's drone him. If no, he knows.
Okay, they know.
He knows. All right. Good on them, because that means they're still allowed and able to take him down. Because if they fail to do so, we're going to be finding BDS with a great flanking position as he gets a wall bank through by Blaz. Great shot.
They had to do it, but also think of the 20 seconds that we've just seen from that one last drone check. Now they're in the same position pretty much they were in before. There she goes. That is the ability of the gadget of our new operator. Both of them impacted off there, but you have 3 and a shotgun. You can destroy a lot of soft floor. She's called Ram, and she is terrifying. Very noisy gadget as well, so it's great to cover audio, but about her, let's see with the 20 seconds. You've got that on the clock. What can you do with it? Candela's might be the first swing, but it's actually Shaiko. They pop open the Azami barricade there, and now they've just lost a little bit more time. They're tucked round onto the back. And Shaiko from the hatch as the Candela Jiro picks up one. It is just Kayak left. They at least get that kill, but with 3 seconds, they can't even hit the floor before it's all over, and that was a bit tragic.
How can
ヒロイク先週良かったのにね、もったいないね。あとミスターオフィサーいなくなってるじゃん。
I mean, it's a bitter pill, and it's obviously a team that's sort of, you know, trying to piece its rhythm together with a swap at this stage, and it's moments like that where you realize it. But here, a quick breach, a quick break towards IT. They want to get this fight there, and they almost get it instantly.
Again, it's going to be the player around there on the mezzanines. It's going to be a Selma used on the Kiba barrier. It's going to be an expensive PC utility, of course. Luckily, they do have 2 hard breaches here, so there is some left to spare. There's a shield on the board as well from Kayak, so wondering where that is going to be used from. But remember all these vertical angles we had before. We still see players around that first floor, and as Liquefact takes down Joom, it's not the best of starts for Heroic.
Well, there's at least a response. Kayak stuck on the other side of Akiba, but they're able to at least get the kill on the back of the cover. Shaiko, he's going to step up and in and see if he can try and offer something back in, and there's the Spray just going over the top, but he doesn't realize it's a blitz, so they're pretty happy to have that rebuffed against them. The impact slightly less so. As I said, you might see some attention paid towards EFAC at this point round because of the vertical play they did before, and almost the opposite, actually. Very cleverly, they've gone, no, we'll pull away. We're not going to run the same route. Instead, we're going to expect the players underneath and pull ourselves to a slightly safer location. The Fenrir gadget is just going to stop all of the progress until it gets grenaded out. The attention swings round, and gets just repelling, and EFAC's able to escape.
Run out. That must have been through the verticality. There's literally nothing you can do at that point. It's just either go up or go down, but as soon as Likafak managed to lock in onto him, there's no escaping that. Striker takes an Astro as well. That shield blast on the opposite side, looking to cover, but look at that. Likafak is going to be fully aware of the fact where Kayak is, and as soon as he steps on any soft flooring, he's going to be receiving an impact to his feet and instantly die in the back of that.
結構人数有利取るけどヒロイク決めさせてもらえないね。
Goo Mines right in front of that blitz. They've been buffed. They'll deal that little bit extra damage, and that's awkward. They have to force you to pull back and change your play out. Blaz is trying to get the cover. It's the EFAC round that gets the drop on the low. And I mean, BDS, they're smiling, they're happy.
いやヒロイックね、撤退決まってるとはいえ最後まで頑張ってほしかったな。なんでリーダー抜けちゃったんだろう。病気かな。病気だったらしょうがないけど。そしたらもう不運としか言いようがないよな。
Sort of throw things to the wall and say, well, we hope they haven't practiced this as much.
もうなんか連携が多分バラバラになってるこれ。
But it's also a gamble going onto a new site as the attacker, which is, you know, obviously being proven here. However, BDS's performance has been strong. It's not even a question of it really being close outside of one round. Again, they've got the read on those two players sneaking their way in underneath. They seem to just have that premonition of let's keep an eye on, you know, this sort of route through. The carriage wall has had some smash brought across it. They're putting some direct focus here, Heroic. Instead of getting lost in the sort of reads around them, push up. They can't get us from underneath if we're under them.
You're not wrong with that one. Unless they do retake that at some point. Now, there is going to be 3 staircases and 2 kills come through. EFAC and Alems both take out one of them, and that leaves only 3 left for Heroic to try and salvage this round. Bless just tosses a grenade over to make sure there's no pressure coming in, but as that blows up and he's unable to instantly find a kill on the other end of it, has to rotate back out and find a different way through. Now, BDS, with a 2-minute advantage out here, still bunch of utility on the port side, basically untouched. They're not going to be too worried about this round. All they need to do is just keep their communications up, make sure that the players downstairs are unable to rotate back up, whilst also keeping an eye out on the players horizontally, which Likafak might not actually do fully, because I'm not really sure if he's aware of Anarchic's position out there.
On the back foot with a full strength BDS, they've at least been able to get themselves some sort of control, I say, of inverted commas, of Garage, with the attention played on entrance routes, but with BDS still fully stretched across the map itself. Here, the entrance, it's only a small sort of box. The coverage on the top floor doesn't really get you the angles that you need to swing yourself into. So instead, they hop down onto the back of the control hall, straight through, but it's Blast getting a lens and then getting quickly picked back up. They want to see if they can try and do some damage in cargo, so an Archic's going to step into the sort of range there as Astro's watching and just misses the motion on the fight, and Archic wins his fight out, and they're sort of acting as an unknown entity, but Bride from the top ropes, I believe, sprays down onto Astro, and an Archic in the meantime gets another inside the site. But with Shaiko still close by, with 20 seconds, he's going to try and get the coverage on the plant. And hope the fight he cannot. It's just an Archic. Waits for the Shaiko swing, the fight. And Archic can't quite get the ball by, cannot get the end of it either. And it is a flawless half.
Really instantly felt like BDS being the second half team in that one, but just not able to lock it in.
All they
need is 1 out of these next 6. It all starts with an opening kill. If one of the Heroic players steps a little bit out of line, you lose one of your big gunners or a bit of a big utility. You're going to be struggling for the remainder of that round of BDS. Attack like we know they can attack. As we've seen in previous matches, previous tournaments, just any of the games of this iteration of BDS.
How will BDS approach? I mean, we're instantly seeing obviously slight differences. You've got the Zephyr, you've got the Nook back end trying to get the Covenants, and just look EFAC on the cross section, crouched off in the distance, waiting to play against the camera game that from the side of BDS was pretty exceptional. Highlighted quite a couple of times here. They're waiting patiently, Heroic, to have things battered against them. They're not quite going for the full exploration and throwing things to the wind. Sort of letting BDS cook slowly, hoping the weight of the map and it being new plays into their hand in the side of time. Doom is about to find the first here against the Lems, but he doesn't. Swung round, the Lems wins out. And that fight in vending might be the start of a spell of a disaster.
Small vertical open up. Anarchic is trying to elevate himself to find a better angle to take down the fiber. Look at the damage that was done to him by Liquefact just firing through. Grenade being tossed in. Won't find him as he fell back just in time. And Bride is about to be removing another anchor off these heart walls, these reinforced walls. Blast on the other side of it. Could be going for a run out here as we're in a 4-on-4 situation. A minute left on the clock, BDS. All they need to do is find a way into the side and not be flanked.
Well, with Blaz tucked in that corner, Breeder and Shiro seems like they might have been on the game of, well, where's he gone? Obviously, with the single kill coming through, they have a keen awareness. He is so close to this soft, though. If they get a whiff, they'll get a kill, but it doesn't seem like they entirely know. He's playing such a dangerous game. Alens is about to come up round on the back end, too. See if he can get to the top of Lauren's stairs. There's one onto Alems just before the drone gets to him. He sees the drone and he somehow slips by. There is a Maverick hole, he's not going to go all the way through. He's wasting so much time for just that angle. Renshiro is holding. There's another one for Blaz. There's one more. And when Heroic needed a spark, Blaz has come a little bit ablaze. Can he end this with the ace? I pointed out EFAC at the very beginning of this round on the opposite side of the map. Here he's had to pick up and go all the way to the other side. Stuck in the Fenrir. And Heroic get around.
Speed. Look when they be able to. Will you try and open up, dig yourself into the corner, have someone watching over the double square? Because look at how many people are playing on the top 4 from Heroic.
BDS's approach was, let's say, slow and steady at the very beginning. It's a new map. It's a new encounter. In the first half, Shaiko and Liquefact have as many kills as the rest of the players combined. Thank you, Stat.
Appreciate that, Stat.
Love Stat.
Stat MVP.
That's actually their name. It's a person.
Yeah. Stat.
As a person.
Is our new statistician in the European League.
What point? But apparently it's coming from
Huh? As we continue, Bride getting a drone in, spotting out some cameras out there. It's of course a default one, so nothing too strange about it. And look at that. Exactly as I said, just go right into the site, but the Fenrir gadgets are going to be stopping Alems from truly pushing through as they're trying to loop around as Liquefact gets taken down. But Alems now finds himself in a very dangerous position, but a good opportunity to find someone off guard.
I mean, he's the only one on the site. They seem to have a rough idea of where he is, but it's a 4 versus 3. You can sort of see both teams going, look, we've got to maybe react to this. Doom is watching the rotation on the opposite side. Sort of hope that somebody is not watching it. They are. He's able to get the kill out. And as Shaiko's trying to find the back of that Fenrir, I mean, Astro is able to tear them up. What do you do in this situation other than die? Because
and it went how your opponent Liquefact really close up to someone here. Doom hiding on the other side. So he's thinking that it probably will be opened up by the sledgehammer as well. Whilst Liquefact is already deep inside. If he goes through the door, might actually have a free kill into Doom.
Yeah, Doom's got the gadget. It's staring up. He's got these holes and angles. That will be the giveaway to EFAC of they're there, but he misses the shots, and now they know exactly where each other is because there's only really one place that'll come from. The E1D pops, and Doom's got far enough away to at least have some cover. So instead, he's going to see if he can try and hold onto the angle before he realizes, well, I'll get surrounded if I don't move. I've got to at least have eyes on one fight, and this is the easier one. EFAC swings the fight outside anyway. Wins it from through the soft. Very well played there.
Knew where he had to be, just open up the angle, found him there, and take him down. Candela's now coming through. BDS looking to come in the back of this. Tossing out the smoke, afraid of maybe someone being down there as well. The plant now going down as well in the middle of the Fenrir, and that means that 45 seconds could soon be on the clock. If Anarchy doesn't stop this plant in time, seems like he will fail to do so. And now 45 counting for BDS. This is all that is between heroic and potentially ending this game.
Wow, Bride being able to get that blind off there, stopping the fight inside the Fenrir, picking up a kill on the back of it. Astro has to go huge here, cannot find the connection. And BDS round out a huge strong start and a statement game back into a 7-2 ending.
Well played by BDS there. In the end, all it did took for the attack was just to insert yourself into the side, instantly go for a plant under the cover of a smoke. Managed to find 3 points that they did need desperately after the loss against G2. They are still in a good position to make it.
あったとしても来シーズン直近だろうな。クラブハウス。
So we're going to start here and
シークレットはまだそこまであれだよな。試合見てない。
because you call it the gym room.
ブラジルパワーがどれぐらいになるか楽しみ。
So exercise. I've gone to the gym room. It starts in the strip club room. The jigsaw moves across towards the bathroom room, the toilets room. Savage. He's not too far away. He's about to find himself in the middle of 2 fights. He does not have much room for maneuver here. Certainly, it's actually 3 sides. The pressure on stop. He's trying to fight his way out. There's some support coming from Falls behind them, though. They might not know about that swing on main stairs. The drone is drawing a lot of attention. They do know. So Falls has bought Savage a second to get out. Miracle finds the kill onto Leon as well. Just had the coverage onto the window. And Koi, they didn't full send towards that player, but they put a lot of attention onto the chance of a kill there. Doing that, a great reaction from Secret saves the life and steals one of their own.
Actually wasn't able to fully commit out there. That was for Koi, because the player that was coming in from the main door, there was a Fenrir device right above it, actually blinding them as they walked through, and that meant it was only Jigsaw able to take that fight effectively at that point, and they didn't quite want to commit. Now they lost a member. They haven't got anything to return for it. They've even lost some heart breaches, which will be making it even more difficult for them to open up now. This grenade should be taking care of the Electroclaw. Got magneted. The pipe will actually stop the shrapnel from reaching it, so a second grenade will need to be used if they want to be opening that up. But that's a bit too much, and they don't have it right now, so they need to find a different way to take it out.
Yeah, I mean, you can see the conversation happening there. The Selma was ready to be thrown, and then they sort of gone, well, we need to do something different here. We cannot just break this through.
Yeah, この時間でそのシフトチェンジ結構きついぞ。
they've tried to find, and the fact that they've lost their thermite,
だって監視も取れてないでしょこれ。
On the breaches they can make through were a lot more costly. Jigsaw watching, was waiting for a fight, is instead going to swing their way up towards it. The new pickup is almost on the wrong end of that engagement. Ruby gets 2 of his own. Jigsaw is able to find 1 before Miracle swings the corner and find a second to keep pace. 3rd to put him over the top. And a strong opening.
Savage の帽子がおしゃれ。
How much ammo was in that TCSG? Just kept firing.
Never ends.
The rotation.
This.
Changing operators as Deepak is up towards the Dokkaebi Crane, now playing onto the Ace. Now, first of your objectives is always to open up this wall, the big wall on CCTV. Once you have that, suddenly you have a lot more to play with here. And Leon, he's just waiting for any support from his teammates, just checking if there's any active trickery going on, which will not be the case. Might actually be a Mew Gemmer, but that's going to be about it. He's placing down his exothermic, might be blowing up at that point as he's rotated out. And that's step 1 done. Now you have 2 options. Either you go for constriction, or you try and take the garage under your control. You need to do one of those 2. And as Leon will find Files, that's going to be a great first opening from that breach.
これは
Falls obviously is kind of behind the bomb chassis, I believe. We saw him, I guess he tried to go for the rotate and then the swing back out, maybe just got caught in emotion. Leon was happy to keep a watch on that, and it allows suddenly the rest of Koi to start acting against that anchor point. That big breach is open. They've got the player watching. Now let's focus onto Upor. See if we can try and root him out from the top of garage. Drones are rolling in from underneath. They've obviously seen some pressure onto the back of it here as Cryan's got the angle. They want to get rid of that echo. As well, and pressure just builds and builds and builds. Hosty with the grenades underneath. Jigsaw with the same.
今回時間足りなかったらマジでないぞ。 だってオフ期間こんなに長かったのないもん。まだかつて CG 書いて。
It's going to be a great second opening now. They just need to leverage the number advantage they have. It's only 2 men left against the 5. Groovy will find the first though. Uber still around the mezzanines to be shut down, and that leaves it only up to Groovy. A play can now happen basically for free. No one is there to respond, and Groovy needs to find himself a way back up. Gets pre-fire through the wall. Crying shuts him down, and Koi, well, they show the world that they still know how to attack as they do take down CCTV.
Just the first
In a mile or so.
But you're Dutch.
I know I'm Dutch.
Oh, okay.
I never said I was good at Dutch. So
I guess that's right. I guess it's very true. I'm sorry to put the pressure onto you. Jigsaw is putting the pressure right inside. It's good to see them get on the go. Obviously, the new pickup, the sort of addition to the roster from all the way in OCE to here. We want to see the imports start to become that danger factor for a roster that once upon a time had it to the nth degree that they were able to entirely get control of a major here. It's a steady pullback from Secret, just slipping away. The bullets that are spiraling and shaking over the shoulders. Savage does find Jigsaw though on the top floor.
Great take by Savage out there. It's going to allow them to really put some pressure down because the Capitao being gone is a lot of utility that could be very useful in an eventual planting situation. Think of the smoke bolts, think of the incendiary bolts that could be used to stop rotations from happening in the safe plant to be utilized. That means there's really going to be a bit of different pressure coming down right now on the side of Koi because it's always been a difficult take. If we talk about CC being super basic, this one is kind of the same. However, the difficulty level just got up to the max because it usually realizes or relies upon the hatch drops, which are just very difficult to deal with as an attacker. Are you afraid of a roamer still upstairs?
I mean,
there is one, but
yeah, I think that's the sort of thing. You send the dedication to try and cut them out. You have to make an action, or do you trust that if you have a sort of net to catch them on with a couple of players watching the rotates background that you can still try and put the pressure onto the side? It seems like that's what Koi are doing. The attention is paid through the impact EMP just on the back wall to get, you know, the Fenrir gadget if it's there and anything else that might just be holding and stopping the progress. But otherwise, with Leon getting caught out by Miracle on the back end, suddenly that Roma becomes even more dangerous. They're caught out.
It's like to drop the hatch out there, and Skrine is trying to be really sneaky out here. Someone was watching for him, but he still gets the kill onto Groovy. Now he needs to dig in deep. There's no more holding back. 30 seconds. Savage is above the hatch. Deepak seems to be realizing this. Goes on the hunt. But that means that there's 2 players occupied right now as he finds the kill eventually. But the diffuser still dropped on the opposite side of things, and Deepak and Skrine are the last man standing in blue. They need to go all the way towards the dirt tunnel to find that diffuser, and there's still players around in the actual hallway here as Miracle and Falls both shot at them, and they should find the kills in the end as they get shut down in blue.
これディフューザー持ってたらなんかもうちょっと選択肢広がってた。
at the start, not having the diffuser, and you know this one. Did you fight? Did you?
まあでも Tier 2チームに行ったんでしょ。結果は出てないかもしれないけど。
Jigsaw's trying to see if he can maybe find players that are around on the bottom floor, or otherwise sneak himself into that first floor so he can use those grenades for verticality. There's a player out there.
I mean, that's it. Great use of the free cam there. Our observing team. They're hunting down onto Savage, but how quiet can Jigsaw be? Now, obviously, not on the gadget. Really, if you're actually being watched, it acts a little bit more like Vigil's. And Vigil's acts a little bit more like hers. Sort of a middle ground here. They're not going to mess up with the claw this time round. They're going straight for it. The cut round the Brava. Get the catch on any of those gadgetry as well. Remember, it was the grenade that wasn't quite far enough, and it left Koi with very little option to get control of the top stairs.
Could be around on the rotate, takes out a drone, and kind of aware of that. To see if he can go on a bit of a hunt. Opened up the garage, though. It's definitely going to be giving away his kind of play here. Jigsaw going up, but it's going to be the proximity alarm that gives it away. Savage responds just in time to shut him down. And the entry is there for Secret.
All right, Koi. You lost the entry game before, but now we still have a bite onto the round. As I said, you have this route that you didn't quite have before. You can actually start trying to make some inroads directly towards the site itself. There is growth. Brian just going to slip his way past. Groovy's watching on the back end, still locked into rafters. He can try and make the rotate at some point, but Koi obviously just have to be, well, coy and coquettish about dropping out onto that balcony, especially with castles. You can see it's being watched whilst this is happening. They're going for the calls. Groovy still wins the fight onto Deepak. Even and Savage still rotating his way up main stairs. 50 seconds. 3 Koi players.
They go for a hop breach, but there's a player inside Jim, so they need to be very sure that they're aware of his position. The pings are there. They need to go for a good pre-fire now. Miracle looking to come around the corner out here. Will not find the first. The reply might be coming from the second. As Husty will take his head off cleanly now. There's an opportunity to go to Jim to go for a plant as Leon needs to follow, but Groovy will find Crying.
A 4 versus 3 versus 2, and they've been able to tuck themselves close to the site for 20 seconds. And how close they are, you have to try and take the engagements. There's at least a bite back, but not quite enough. And falls, removes Hosty from the back.
いやなんか保険がないんだよね。今ヒートチャージ割られた後の保険がないんだよ。このチーム。
I think
Secret 4 as it was last time. That sort of great.
レフティさんおはようございます。
Okay. And you never want to be in that position. You don't want to be dependent on other teams playing in a certain way to allow you to get through.
You could play your best siege at that point, and it might not matter. That's the rough sort of thing. And it becomes that even worse sort of moment of, well, we had the capabilities. But anyway, that's a throw forward. We're still in this game. The timeout has been called. It's 3-1. And you said it at the start, Koi need 3.
Yeah, I would like to see them pick up 3 just to put themselves in a good position after their first game. They need that bit of an extra buffer. So as they're attacking CC again, it's going to be a bit of a ping coming through. So a grenade is being followed up by Hosty, I believe, as he was the one pulling it. I think he put it back in pocket after the rotation of Miracle came through. So he's no longer within reach. Exothermic on the board. It's going to be... no, that's going to be tricked. That's why you bring a second heart breach. Where was the Selma? Oh, he's on the other side of the map, but that just lost you.
餅つき対策とかさ、
It's not
カイドとバンディに泉にしてる時点でもう絶対これ国境壁で駆け引きしてくるぞって。ドロー結構いいとこに入ってんだけどね。
It's going to let them know, hey, we're going to try and open his wall. It's as simple as that. This grenade should be taking him out though. If it hits properly, that it does. Files gets taken down. There's no more bandit on the board. There is still the opportunity from Electro Class to be out there. Leon only has a single exothermic left on the board to play with here. Hosty does take care of Savage, and suddenly it's looking quite bright for the side of Koi.
Hey, the good bite in here. Hosty, you know, he's sort of the other new addition, the pickup to the team to try and bring some of that gun game across. I highlighted Jigsaw, but Hosty has so far been able to really get his teeth in. Something that unfortunately not all the guns of Koi have been. Yupo, I talked about him in this position before. You can try and isolate him, get the take here. It seems like Koi very adept at attacking this site though. It was the site that they took pretty well before, and they've at least come back from that initial stumble, but with 40 seconds, it's going to have to turn into a little bit more of a direct route through. Yupo gets one, gets dropped in response. The Deepak was ready for that engagement. There's a gadget just tucked around onto the barbs as Miracle rotates to see if he can try and punish it. And it's a huge double. Somehow got the cut across the pair of them, and that might have just swung the round. They saw the tip of the barrel here. They didn't quite get the motion. It's 2 seasons. Deepak gets the take to the head. Groovy gets the secret cling on to the round. And that is a disappointing end to that one for Koi.
That is definitely a disappointing end to the round because, yes, realize coming in the lost
secret. They are just pushing this game further and along, and I know I sort of said it after the second round that it's good that Koi's getting that siege back in. They've got that round. They might be able to bring it to the fight, and as you said, it's a game.
ダブルピークしたんだけどうまく抑えられた感じかな。ただ予備動作がないからさ、窓からのプレッシャーとかさ、階層からのプレッシャーとかがないからさ、ミラクル見てればいいのはそこだけだったもんな。
Quite a lot of pressure on it. You only really get one lifeline, and it takes just one mistake to be punished, or one huge play from Secret to punish a good hold.
噂が回らないオーストラリアから内情知らない人引っ張ってきたからさ。
Look at this. The quickly trying to push them back to the side. Hosty wanted the fight.
まあでもなんかさネガティブな噂があったとはいえオーストラリアの人からすると俺は EU に行けるのはすげえチャンスだと思うからある程度条件悪くてもジグソーが契約結んだっていうのは理解できるけど、ね、オーストラリアでやるよりは未来あるもんやっぱ EU の方がマジでオーストラリアのコミュニティめっちゃちっちゃいらしいマグが言ってたらしいけど
Scryne is looking to drop into the oil pits and at least opens up that door to put it down a little bit of pressure. We talked about that before. You just want to open up those doors, even if you end up not using them. And look at that. They're just clearing everything so thoroughly on the side of Koi. They're losing a lot of time with that. A minute 30 left on the clock. You're almost done with the entire top floor. I'm not sure how far they've gotten with the first floor, but they still need to open up these hatches.
でスポイトが超絶勘がいいからさ。これダメだっつって。スポイトマジ優秀だな。そう考える。さすがストリーマー出身だな。
Still a couple of impacts to play against you. You can't really go for the smoke drop with the coverage. There's a C4 in pocket too, and you know with goo mines and the potential chance of a barricade popping up, there's still going to be these malleable defenses that can be propped up and sort of put as a response to the approach. There will be changes. Osti's going to roll the grenade out. Gets caught out. There's a second that might try and hit, just remove that barricade on the back end.
レオンが全部 IGL やってるらしいからさ。そこと合わないとできないからさ。
anymore with the recent changes. They are not electronic gadgets, unfortunately. But that was a very recent change.
いやいや、キババリア全開よ。そこ力イズパーで押し通すんかい。すげえ力イズパーで押し通した。嘘でしょ。
And everybody around him was dead. They're gonna pop off the plant. Great take on one. There's an even better one for the second.
ワンマガで2人持ってた SMG11 で。
Does not have a lot of health. He still has the C4.
惜しい。
あ
ったね。
Deepek gets the final kill onto Koi, needing a punchy round and punching right through it.
Very tight angle being held there, and indeed they utilize.
No, it's
in 5 rounds. We're going to have to wait and see how Secret is faring on the attack on the map as well.
Were excellent. It was really, really fast, fluid siege. The plays, the ideas. If you do a play that's good enough to put you on the telestrator, break it down, you know it's a good play. And that's the sort of plays that they were putting down 6 rounds in a row. So Koi were up against a very sort of tricky approach here. You've got club, you've got a known entity on your side. You're up against a team that's still sort of finding their feet on the swing of attacks, and they're not quite finding it the same way while they're going to be able to get the first, maybe even the first 2 rounds here, bring things back level.
Dropping out quickly in the back of that drone. Keeper's looking to go for a follow-up, but they're not quite 100% sure where he is. And allows him to rotate back around. Another drone though spots him out, and now they have actual information to play on. But everybody's rotating back already towards the bottom floor. No need to stick around. Hatches are being opened up as well, and Secret they shoot now, shoots relatively soon now. The top floor and the first floor are basically cleared out.
It was very clean. It was very well sort of thought out there. If only there were a couple of paces forward, you think Secret might have got a couple of kills, but at the same time, that only doesn't work because Koi's retreat was very clean. You could see that they wanted to explore a little bit more there, and I think Jigsaw was sort of telling them to come back. We can fight them back here on the site itself. We can lock in. But Secret, how do they move on the back of this? The hatch is electrified down to Moto. Scryne is jiggling around from the side of it. Miracle did flirt the idea of going down main stairs, but himself back instead. The focus here might come towards kitchen hatch. You've got Jigsaw potentially goes if they haven't killed that player. You assume Tricks will come back against it. But Miracle, I mean, he's been caught out the main stairs. Scryne with the long angle from Moto, and this is it. He went for the swing onto Churchwell, did get the pop of the Selma, but they've lost now those Selmas.
That mirror window being gone is definitely an opportunity for the attack, though, if they do want to go for a motorcycle drop or play from the main stairs. The majority of the team is actually eyeing up to go from blue and see what they can do from there on out. The Fenrir device is going to be blinding Ruby and they're slowing him down. There's only 30 seconds left. They need to take this aggressively, but there's still players are out from Koi.
武器庫ゴリ押し。まさかの棚上。すごいいいんだ。惜しい。ナイスカバーだね。
13 seconds, none of it seen as Koi.
守れてるね、Koi.
Able to lock out and hold down their first defense on the basement.
Was not the one to try and take
どこ行ってもブラジル人と衝突してる。
Gonna be gym and bedroom instead.
今コンテってどこいるんだっけ？どこの監督やってたよね。
Pinging things around.
Watcher would open up.
今代表ウィークだからさ。週末にさ、サッカーの試合ないのがちょっと寂しいんだよ。
There's a couple of pings that have come together. Yeah, I think it was the castles on gym and the bedroom.
Yeah.
Yes.
あれスポーツ解任されてから変わってないのか。
up from the white van that gets them the angles quite quickly. They're going to go with the Mavericks.
あ、でもどっかに
play
招聘されるみたいなの見たけど。
game and the trick. And, you know, if we cite the problems with hatches, if we cite the problems with getting this wall open and then going beyond it, the classic Maverick is one where you, if you've got the trick done, there it is. And the wall will fall. The wall can be fooled. Look at all three of them stocked and ready to go.
Yeah, there's still going to be a next step, however, that they need to deal with, because there's the mirror window right behind it that they need to grab. Oh, they actually need to destroy the electronics first before the RC Retiro can go on. Will open up eventually, but that's a lot of utility still used for a softball like that. And now the mirror window is going to be able to look straight out to that balcony, so it's going to be even more hard now and difficult to get rid of the player right behind it as Deepak, well, takes down fast as they try, I believe.
Burst has fallen. They once again lose the ace, lose the Selmas. They haven't really been able to have the full bite of the impact. They do still have alternate hard breach and they've got the wall open, but it is a map that can be hard and heavy. It can become tricky. Ruby is able to win out against Cryan. Suffered the first strike. Leon gets dropped by Savage as well. At least they get some revenge.
ワールドカップで優勝した女子選手に表彰台でキスしたっていうなんか頭おかしいやつが。
Can't find Deepak, who is locking it down as you've always wanted.
ほっぺたにするとかって挨拶的な感じじゃなくてさ、口にブチってや
Ruby will
って
take a little bit of damage going
海
through
外でも
this.
猛批判されてる。
Not enough to knock him entirely out, but enough to give the game away of where he is. They'll hear the call of pain, and well, one on main stairs, one on Logi, one inside the bedroom itself. What option do you choose? They're sort of saying, look, we know you're there.
全世界的にさ、セクハラ
There's
問題
40
厳しい
seconds.
時
You're
代
the
に
one that
さ、
has to push the presser at time. Pre-fires to
マ
get
ジで何や
Jigsaw.
ってんだよって感じ。
Got himself some control here. 2 versus 1. He's had a
グループやっ
huge
ぱう
game
ま
so
い
far.
ね。
He's 10 to 4, but obviously
ほら、ワンチャン作ったぞ。残り30秒はありありのありだぞ。
All that's left. Pre-fires through. They give the game away on where he is. Sees his foot.
おー、よく勝負したね、そこ。
It got very, very close from what was a sort of surefire moment, though.
Because they get closer, too closer. Something to win it.
Back in the game. So that might
ま
have
あ、ITB は確かにね。
It looked
TAC into a TACA.
nice. Hey.
おー、ポーズ入ってるの。この辺か
CCTV. I mean, could be placed. Yeah, I was going to say could be placed on the CC wall.
恋人でも何でもない
Because it
の
will
に
be
唇
open
に
up
キス
anyway.
す
So
る
what
とかあ
can
る
you
って
do? You open it up yourself, and then you throw impacts out, or
ノア
you
が
try and
前
shoot
回パフォ
whoever's
ーマンス良
repelling
か
through
った。
it.
初めてのチャットありがとうございます。ジャスタビー。ジャ
So
ス
I
タ
think
ビー
that's the prismas we're actually hearing,
ジュンさんこんにちは。
rather than like spots coming through.
でも ITB 自体は全員なんか機能的に動いてるなっていう印象を受けたけど
I
ね。
don't know if it's just me that's
しか
No,
もワイ
it's
ル
the
ドに
same
勝
for
った
me
か
as
ら。
well. It's like you barely hear anything anymore.
It's very quiet.
いやペングはさ、
They're
多
stealing
分そのレオンのあれがあってぶち切れてやめたんだ
Once
と
again,
思
the
う。
drone gets caught out pretty much instantly.
もうやんないんじゃないかな、さすがに。ラストタイミングだったと思うけど。
The break. It's CC. As we said when Koi were able to take it, as the very second round in the game, it is one that every team knows how to attack. You can bring the steady, and to be honest, nothing is more classic than this attack. The Maverick going across, and although there's the mirror window, and they've
それはあるんだ。
to make this really difficult to get the breach across, but also to sort of say, we might go for a C4 out. Upor has the tricky job of, I have to watch.
He got one
any-
already.
よーすげえ
Yeah, and that's it. I'm not going to say
ミ
it's
ラ
an easy
ー
job.
であそこまで割れてたらもう開くんだね。知らなかった。それでミラクルやってたのか。すげえ。
Mirror window gets deployed inside.
ミラクルマー
You
ベリック
cannot
の
really
使え
cut
て
that
た
in
な。
half. That just stays in place until you cut the other part out as well. So It's going to be making it a little bit more tricky to walk through or to get through, as Leon will find the very first onto Miracle. He instantly sees Savage hopping up because they're aware of the... that's just too late, and he instantly gets picked up on the back of it. Falds basically got him twice in a row there. Well done.
I mean, it's just that sort of moment, isn't it? Threw it, hoped they would try and be a bit slower, and checking it out on the back, you know, sort of smash the keeper and then go for a slower check. But they just had a drone in position and not to know about the swing. They caught him before he could get himself another 2-3 feet behind that keeper barricade. Without the Maverick, you assume that they've already done the work at least onto it, and they've still got
ジェラール・ピケっていう元スペイン代表のバルセロナの選手がオーナーなんだけど、オーナーっていうか、まあ出資者の人。
It means the fight has to come like this, very direct across garage, and if Jigsaw can win out this engagement, he's suddenly found himself in a second surrounded here. 30 seconds left, and what's he gonna do? He's popping around.
Jigsaw うまいねやっぱり。キャラコンバチコリうまい。うま。今のキャラコンうますぎだろ。あ、でも現実潰しちゃったね。
20 seconds left. Jigsaw is the only player on the side of Koi. He's going for a long rotation here, and suddenly those walls that stayed locked, well, they're only going to work against Jigsaw. He's going to try and fight and fight his way into the site group. He's got the lockdown all the way across. Very awkward retake here.
Definitely is, and he needs to isolate these players, but they're really on opposite side of it, and well, that breach from the Maverick is definitely not going to be helping him. Needs to jump over. Doesn't spot the player. Gets swung on by Groovy.
俺ね、正直今のはレオンの立ち回りどうだったのって気がする。結構攻めの起点作られてなかったから、あそこでガレージ取られちゃったから攻めの起点作られちゃったからね。1キル取ったけど、いや、あざみ残しとくべきだったんじゃねえと思うけどな。まあでも、今のタラレバだなけど、その積極性でラウンド取れてるところはあると思うから。
Alright, there's Falls getting the revenge on the Spawn Peak.
ジグソー生き生きしてる。俺ブリスの時のジグソーも全然覚えてないからなんだけど。
Gets the take and gets the drop on the roaming player who we saw and commented about the last time of playing that flirting with danger game quite well. Not so much here. The comment on Secret was if they were a couple of steps faster, they might have got the bite. Here they are. Many steps faster, and Jigsaw is now in a dangerous place. Great first shot onto Groovy. About to be under pressure from the bedroom. Chooses wisely to rotate, hop right round, and there's the support structure of the Dutchman saying, "Get back."
Zuber now continues down the staircase. It is Koi just resting at the bottom floor, waiting for us to come, waiting to see if they are going to be able to shut them down as, well, eventually they do start to attack this side. For now, it's just a bunch of barricades that Secret needs to deal with before they can actually start opening up these hatches. Secondary heart breach here, definitely going to be useful. Means that Miracle doesn't have to use 2 of his Selmas to open up any of these hatches. It's a bit of economy right there with that heart breach. As they open up too, it's definitely some options that are being opened up right here for Secret to utilize.
They're being quite quick, quite brazen about smashing open these boards. I said it before. The swing here.
なんかジグソーとホスティがさ、スタッツ伸ばしてるってことは、チームに噛み合ってきてるところあるんじゃない？ただなんかチーム全体としては、
offer some sustenance, some growth to it. They've cut off the root. It can come onto the back of Moto, but the Flores drones are going to get some clearance. It does buy some safety here, because they weren't quite in position to get the swing back against it. And now, with 2 options, with a route through the shot, the impact will stop it becoming a full breach. Blinds come across the back end. They have to pull away. There's a play caught in a corner and caught in a crossfire. Miracle gets back end. Jigsaw has to rotate to see if he can find the fight. Just misses the inch of it. 20 seconds. How are they going to break through into the site?
Deepak is very stuck in his position right now. Instantly just taking up a Miracle. Jigsaw in a great position, finds one, and he knows he has the opportunity to go for a flex. He finds a third, and now Leon find one more as well. Uber, the last man, standing in an 8-second 1v2 situation. He has that diffuser, but he needs to find the kills instead. Misses the opportunities on both ends, and the time will run out. Unable to find those kills, and Koi able to just barely hang on.
skin of their teeth. Obviously.
こそヌック凸。
He's definitely.
ゲンジャンさんおはようございます。土曜日の友達さん実況とてもかった。お、ありがとうございます。
Funny.
まあ熱い試合だったから。
Alright, Miracle. Yeah, quick pace. As I said, it was that little bit of quick pace that they had before.
守りはだいぶいいね。とかシークレットの攻撃があと1枚工夫がない感じする。結構行こうとするところで食いつかれちゃってるから、もう一工夫して食いつきをかわせないと厳しい気がするな。
It happens twice here, then maybe they have a problem going on. Leon ready to C4 through this if it turns into an actual break. Yupor's gonna put that on it though, and he shoots through it.
So it's gonna be shot through there because he wanted to. He just opens up for them. It's like, I'll take down your breaching charge. I'll put down a C4. Just make sure we're even. EMPs are being tossed through as well as a extra bandit. Oh, that's not gonna be getting it.
今のでさ、1個 EMP 投げミスったんで、ブラックメラ割れてない。
But he might actually be shown, but he has the opportunity to still use that one-way angle.
Oh, it's so narrow, and he gets the kill out the back of it. I mean, it really shouldn't exist as a space, and now it doesn't. But the fact he got that bite onto Yupo on the back of it is a little bit rocky. There's even less space, and he's finally caught out by Falls. And Savage get a bit of an impact here on the back end. Deepak's blinded. He did get a triple last time here, but look at the bodies flooding in on the back of that swing. They pushed into bathroom, they pushed down, but Logi gets caught out by Hosty. Rotates his way towards construction door. Miracle's holding inside bathroom, but Deepak gets a drop before he's dropped Falls. Retakes the power position. Do they know where the swing? They do. And Jigsaw goes down.
中のエリアが取れた。ただフォールズがプラントいけるかどうかだな。このスタンドこれでもね、見る位置難しい。物理見れてないから。通ったら話が変わる。話があった。これでフォールズがロックできるから。そうだね。で、フォールズが物理見ればいいわけだから。おお、クライムワンチャン作ったけどな。よくこれ取れたね。シークレット。
Koi decided they both wanted to be retaken from the same door out there, not knowing that whilst they were setting themselves up for it, the right angle was being watched. They were setting themselves up for plants and actually could get it down without any real trouble. I would have expected was them actually trying.
コンセプトがやっぱりよくわからん。シークレットも恋も。なんか強みと言える、あ、ここが強いんだなみたいなところあんまり見えてこない。例えばシークレットだったらグルービーをもっと前面に押し出してキル取るとかさ、そういうのもないし、なんかうまくやろうとしてるってことは分かるんだけど。暁さんおはようございます。
The importance and the pressure here is on Koi. They can.
ミラクルとフォールズの2人が残った時、ポルトガル語で報告してる。どうなんだろうね。他の人もカメラ見てるから英語なんじゃない？ There was a pickup of pace, but things have
not entirely slowed down, but hit a slightly different beat here because they know that.
いやでもなんかツイスターとさ、フォールズとさ、ミラクルで一緒に住んでるっぽいから楽しそうだよ。
There's a drone watching. And the wall gets open from range.
今回ちゃんとリスクを背負ってブリッジング弾で割ってきた。
What happened last time?
Now to just open it up as a bit of pressure, not really wanting to attack from there, but just to make sure that the players out there do not really have a save rotation spot. Instead they're going through CCTV. Savage is already inside. There's two players hiding here inside of Cash. Hosty and Crine both around. Crine is about to be taken. Three people as he ducks down for a reload. And that's the player out there. Doesn't find any. Not even Hosty. A secret find two in very quick succession.
Spoiled for choice. You could see him flick between the different bodies and
これはまずいですよ。
so much damage to three different players.
肉の壁で突破したね。
You would have at least confirmed a kill. It's such a tricky moment. And now, can they try and bite back? Leon, he held onto the spray, hoping another shoulder check would come around the corner with maybe a head to get caught by a bullet. Nothing comes.
できることほぼできてるからな。
The remaining players here of Koi to guarantee something. From this game, guarantee they move off the bottom of the board, potentially with 0. The first is Leon. You can see Groovy's a lot of damage there on the windows itself. Jigsaw's going to see if he can try and find a fight against them. Deepak's doing his best to hold on to Logi, but it's Leon with the swing onto the window player that gets rid of Groovy. Suddenly, a 3 versus 3, 30 seconds. And those two people that Cryin did a lot of the dirty work onto now are a little bit further down. There's the push down the stairs. Deepak makes the move. The initiative is here. It's Leon with a triple. When they needed him most, he shows up. And here's Savage. All that's left for the confirmed 3 points. The pings of the procs. They know exactly where he is. Gets sees the back of Leon. Bit unfortunate, but Deepak's there. We're going to OT.
Fight back. A quick secret of after they tried to push through limited angles, Leon gets able to shut that down quite effectively. It could have been 3 points for them, but it's not. Koi now have the opportunity to find two. At least they're on the board. At least they have a point.
ような配信頑張ってんだ。あいつ超いいやつだったよ。常滑に来てくれた時に。頑張って話しかけてくれてたんだけど、言語が通じなかったからマジで会話でいい。
Could be finding a player. All he needs to do is just wait a little bit longer, but that's too early.
単純計算でこういうの方がいい。
Already moved by.
ミラクルやっぱ強えな。このポジションで14の9って結構すごいと思うけどね。
Steady breach over the top. They haven't been able to get the catch on the loose player though. Remember when they had a bit more success here was when they did get that very early take onto Cryin. Now with all the players falling back to the basement, they can play this hold. They can sort of rebuff an approach. They've still got the ideas of impacts. They've got a C4 that works this time. Miracle's gone. The ace is gone. They've only got the pocket pin openers now from Fools. And you think about how they've had these holds before, that mirror window that they've just had the Selmas hit time and time again. You are going to struggle to get to that. Now they have nothing else apart from guns. Savage gets Jigsaw, gets that take. The two hatches they've opened are open.
いや、でもまだインがいるから。
That's all they'll have.
無茶はできる。
Minute 10, still plenty of time. They just need to
メイン
find
階
the
段攻め
right
ずっとやってる
angle
から
in.
やめた方がいいんじゃない？ブルー取りに
Well,
行
I
くと
think it just got spotted there twice
Why you
again.
hug it?
That's going to be confirmation for a potential grenade to roll through. Cryin almost loses his life.
いやー、サベジちゃんと詰めてるのが偉い。
And Savage now finds himself a
いや、
motorcycle.
52秒でバーハッチ取れたんだったら全然あるぞ。
Very cheeky body to take there. It's sort of a bit of mispositioning.
読んでたー。
Groovy gets one more and
この状況で勝っちゃう。
has fallen away from Koi. Getting the take onto the Salmas, limiting how they could take you was
ここに来て割り切った攻撃したね、シークレット。綺麗にお嬢様シージをやめた。
Might even be able to take one or two like out as they start rotating back. If you have set up the angles properly for that.
The first strike is Savage. He had a huge round previously, and here, just with a peek out of strip, he removes Deepak, he removes the Dokkaebi calls before things have even started to hunt down the loose players. The loose players have struck back.
すげえいいチームだったんだけど。
Leon's waiting for some motion here from either side. Groovy suffers actually first.
あのフラグで死ななかったの単純に運が良かっただけだと思う。あんなもんほとんど HP ちょっと残してるの見切りなんてできねえと思う。
back end, they've tucked themselves all the way down. They're gonna make sure they keep a handle on that man advantage. Koi now slowly have to check to see if those players have truly left.
Everybody was rotating up to the top on the side of Koi, and at that moment, as soon as everybody started knocking on the doors, instantly everybody went down towards the side, and that means the wasting time. That means that those players that all went up top weren't working on opening up hatches, opening up floorboards, or getting themselves in position to go for a push later on. So you've just wasted about 20 extra seconds. You still have everybody available to you. As now the hatches start to get opened up, it's Koi that it all relies upon this round. They need to take this one, and again, they might be trying to do so with a bit of a push for the motorcycle hatch, as they don't really have another opportunity of opening up those hatches unless Cryin is going to be able to get them on the hatches itself with the openers. The C4 from Miracle takes out Hosty. That's going to be even more painful now.
Exactly the same place as C4 got a kill the previous round. There's another victim of it. And now the 3 versus 5. A minute for them to try and attack one of the most fertile sites. nice little use of the Selma to make the hold onto the main door a bit more awkward, but it can be replaced. And yeah, they've dropped onto Moto, they've dropped onto Blue, but they're inside the Fenrir. They can't see. Crying gets a kill. They're swinging around the box and just being peppered by either side. And Jigsaw, all that's left, he cannot move anywhere. And Secret finally pushed this game over the edge. They take the 2 points. They for now
攻撃があんまりシークレットまとまってないわ。いや、これはオーバータイムに行く戦いじゃなかったと思うな、俺は。
0 points turns to 1.
Painful there for Koi in the end. And if he moved away from behind that border, he would have been blinded by the Fenrir. All other players were shooting at him. There was nothing he could do at that point. Secret, well, they played it well. Could have actually gotten this in the regulation, I think, but at least they got the win in the end. They got those 2 points, and that means that they are en route to a potential playoff spot.
G2 とウルブス、いい試合じゃないか、これ期待できる。お、ビブーがグー使ってる。
They sort of said it, and it's a high preference match for G2. I still cite it as one of the turning points in their run in the sort of finals was Skyscraper, when you had a slightly different roster. Blur keeping it locked down across the side of Drum was a moment where suddenly this G2 team was like, okay, they're getting some good control against their opponents here. They're getting themselves in the contention to start winning the big title. They'll be able to kind of have that same mark here. Will their game be a little bit more guessed? P4's directly underneath. And obviously, as sneaky as you can be, they've just one grenade, but Doki's got the kill on them anyway. Before Uno can even get in place, another spray goes back towards him. Doki had bit his way down. Deadshot's on one side. Mowgli's on the window behind. He's cut, and he's stuck. But so are Wolves, because the timer is just a-ticking.
Doke is rotating out as well, so he actually made himself out of the predicament he was finding himself in, and now Wolves are clearing out with a drone, realize there's no one down there anymore, and have the opportunity to continue on with their lives and continue on with the take as a minute 20 is left on the clock, and they still need to do a lot on the actual side itself. So, breaching charge onto the wall as well as left to trick the hard wall next to it. He's being tossed in. Alamo responds with a C4, doesn't detonate it instantly. He kills himself with a grenade on the back of it though, as he probably bounced it the wrong way around. Shinko walks in, Virtue finds the trade, and a 4-on-2 is that's left after all that chaos.
ウルブズでも先週 MNM 戦めっちゃ強かったからな。
He's trying to get a handle. Bibu's offering some support onto Shrine, but Uno gets Deadshot and leaves just the man and the bees in the
今ニトロ投げられてフラグ投げようと瞬間にニトロ飛んできてどうしようもなかったんですよ。多分ニトロのとこでやり取りしてたのがモグリだった。
I mean,
and this is the most
okay, very easily for that. Grim on the previous round, they've got their opportunity here to maybe put some pressure in. The shotgun there, getting some danger on towards Uno. He was touched in this position before. They just sort of made the statement spray there over the soft, but it would have got shot out anyway. So Uno still feels a little bit safe.
衰えを知らん。まあ昔ほどガンファイターかっていうとちょっと違うけど、それでも強いな。
It's in a nice little elevated area, so some good information being gathered as P4 is trying to sneak himself all the way through. Right below the sights. Now, once those drones start gathering information, those grenades are starting to come into play right there. So that's what they're trying to bank on, or potentially find a cheeky onto Alamau as he's playing on those back stairs. Maybe you can find yourself on the right timing out there with the drones and yourself aiming at him as he doesn't look, because now an execute seems to definitely be coming through.
Well, there it is, the quick tip over the top. Everybody's blind. Vivi's going to go for the plant and the chaos, but does not last very long. Virtue pops around the corner, gets the spray, and Deadshot is left sort of wondering what happened. Works against him, he cannot get the cover for the player, and now the kit is entirely isolated. They have a lot of time. There's always the benefit of when a player like that goes wrong, but also they're in a tricky situation because they've still got to try and retake the pressure on towards Black Stairs. They got the shield down before things kicked off, so maybe they can try and take this fight, but Alamau is going to be on the bad end of it. I was going to say ready for it, but then pushed in, maybe a little bit too eager. Mowgli burns the gate as P4 comes up behind, should get the execute, and there it is. With Deadshot and P4 getting one apiece as well. Suddenly they have a man advantage.
Yeah, I believe that the call might have come through there that LMI was being pushed, and thus they look to, collapse, see if they can put some pressure down. But P4 now holding the back, actually spots the head of the Valkyrie, doesn't quite connect to Doki. Holding tight, knows that another swing will be coming through, misses his shot and his attempt, tries to go through the wall, again through the door. That's a missed throw. C4 gets taken down by Shinka. So in the end, that roamer has been neutralized. 2 left on the side of G2, 4 on Wolves. Good opportunity here to still try and regain that diffuser and go for a plant.
Benja Master gets the bite back. They're still holding onto the window. The blinds are going to come through. They're trying to force P4 out of position, and they've at least got themselves to the top of black.
Benjaいいヒッチ入ったん
じゃないそれ。Move together. The grenade comes over the top.
そうだよね。
Keep on going, but they went out against the Ying. The positioning there.
階段位置分かってる。フラグ投げてきたから相手の位置も分かってる。わあ、ドローンに見られてた。ハリウェイのドローンか。いや、これでも、生き残ればいいんじゃない
He's looking for the route out. They've got to pick the kid up and go for the plant. They're well aware of it. P4 has it. There's a ping on where they think...
He's lagging.
Oh, he's lagging! Oh, no!
Oh, no! P4!
He's lagging, yeah.
ラグってプラントできなかった。
Something going wrong out there. Like, he was pressing F and something wasn't happening. Yeah, there you have it, lagging.
Oh, that's unlucky. It's something you never want to see.
いや今のプラントできてたもんな。車線通ってなかったから。そんなことある。いい家に住んでる代償かな。
Don't get spotted?
Don't think he did.
Yeah,
he definitely did.
He got spotted. He got spotted. He's gonna.
They can't hit him.
Oh! How did he slip away? No! Please don't let him escape. He escapes.
He escaped.
He escapes. 3 of them went for that close down. They pre-fired the angle. I mean, he
このテック中にアレマがスマホ普通にいじってたよな。オンラインでスマホいじっていいんだっけ
He somehow managed to slip through 2 of them.
オフラインはスマホ没収されるけど。
He definitely escaped there with his life. Took a little bit of damage, but that's something he's willing to live with at that point. Summons are popping off though, and that means that the wall inside of the bathroom is being opened up.
でもオンラインでさ、確認できないよな。だって画面にさ、
Limited top take actually coming
now
from Wolves. No one really dare except for Mowgli. Usually we do see a heavy top push coming in, especially around, of course, Geisha, which you need to take for that hatch, but seems like they're not really that interested in it.
ごめんなさい、初めてチャットしてくれたのに、こんにちは。ちょっとお名前が読めないです。難しすぎて。
Mowgli putting the pressure over here, trying to still catch the loose thread and threat of Uno, who's able to escape himself. They have the drones in the eyes inside, Deadshot's still got some thievery he can do here, and it allows Mowgli to move in a little. He's not quite as interested in that. The slow creep round as they just wait for a call.
あ、そうそう、エリートスキンはダメなはずなのにね。
Vertical to the angle.
なんで罰受けないんだろう。
Again, very slow.
シャイコはサブモニターでみんなのウェブカメラ見てる。
upstairs, but look at this Shinka.
そうだよね、サブモニター映って
Smokes
る。
coverage, gets himself tucked in and goes for the plant. Benja's trying to see the angle, but they've already slipped through Benja.
And everybody's up on the top right now from G2. It's going to be a double kill coming out from Wolves before Benja's able to respond, but everybody's outside the building already. Fuser has been planted. That needs to be recovered now. That's a hack deathnet there that is going to be blinding Benja just temporarily, but look at where that's planted. Long angles around as well that can be held from the bathroom. And it's only up to him now. He goes for a jump out, and that means it's basically over as he gets shut down by the pistol from Bieber right after, and Wolves to pick up a round.
ああ、モーグリはあれなんかポスター貼ってんだ。都会の。いや、こういうでもやっぱり緩急できるのウルブズの強さだよな。こういうのマジでウルブズ勤勉だよね。
cannot really move anymore, or someone's going to be seeing them. And that's how we usually see very quick attacks succeed. Where if they have all those angles, it's just the defenders that are moving so much under the pressure that's being set up that they're just walking right into the crossfire. So see if that's the plan that Wolves is going for, if they have a different approach planned.
Quick breaks onto the top.
そこ簡単に割れるんだ。へえ、最近建物階段の一枚は結構駆け引きするんだね。
Maybe cost them with the C4 incident. P4 is in that position holding the grenade and loses it much quicker. They're back on the drone. They don't want to fall for the same step, the same mistake as before.
まあさっきラグで1ラウンド落としてるから。
One player out there at least. Unaware of the fact that he has been spotted. Grenades now being tossed his direction, but Alamar will find Shinka as a diffuser drop before will respond, however. And Wolves, they find themselves in VIP and the house stairs, but a run out comes through, and that's going to mean that one side has been cleaned up. As Doki swings up to Mowgli.
G2 のコミュニケーションいいね。
They get at
多分アレマオが
one of them in the fray. Alamao is gone.
建物階段が多いってなったらさ、
1
人持ってったから他のところ2人になるからさ、他のところ薄くなるからさ、そこにちゃんと当たりに行ったよね今。
It's sort of the bad back edge to that. If you do they keep
ビブーはすごいよ。昔ゴリゴリのアタッカーだったのに今もう大人になって本当に一番
But it could also be to know if someone is downstairs with a grenade operator, just so you know to get out of the area out there.
一部 IGL やってるみたいだし。
It's all you can do.
It's all I can do.
All you can do. Uno was sprayed through against that position last time, and he expected it this time. This time, didn't quite have the same catch, and well, they had to pull away. They were reactive to the reaction, and luckily for them, didn't get caught out. Shinka popped a single bullet, and then took care of it. Mowgli sees the vertical angle. You're looking at 4 grenades currently underneath the site itself. The spray through Alamao. I'm not sure if he was fully aware. There's yellow ping, so he had some reactivity. The first grenade smashes just under the single wall. I think that's to allow. Yeah, you can hear the Selma popping off. It was pre-placed. Mute jammer caught out.
As to get that piece of utility, second grenade to be used towards the main stairs. Going to be removing some of the utility out there. Furuchu, in the meantime, is on the cam trying to figure out if someone is pushing in from the restaurant area. So RC returns are starting to come through. That definitely might be bringing some trouble. It's going to be taken down quickly there, so nothing really to worry about. It is going to be giving away some information, though, to the side of Wolves that they can maybe act upon. But Alamao, with that shotgun onto the back stairs, is turning his back at the wrong time. As B4 smashes the barbed wire. He's going to be aware of the fact they might be pushed from the back. But look at that, on the long angles watching as well. They were hoping to bait him out to go for a swing.
There it is, the burn through, pops the shotgun, doesn't connect, but the grenade does with the follow-up there from Mowgli.
しかも逃げられないように祭壇バルコニー側にも射精敷いてるもんな。いやこれ裏口階段の取り方めちゃくちゃうまいわ。さすがリブズ。
He knew they wanted to be fluid behind that first pressure and push, and well, it forces them into a suddenly very tricky situation. Uno's waiting for the rappel to come up, but with 50 seconds, Wolves, they're utilizing this time to drone, to send that Iana gadget through first. P4 with the slow creep isn't quite slow enough. Oki had the catch onto the player. They keep control of the black stairs, but the swinging has happened onto karaoke window. Benja picks up Mowgli though. Gets that stop down. The Wolves players are once again getting themselves a little bit rebuffed on the final push.
He repelled in, he has that diffuser, has the opportunity to go for a plan, but as soon as he puts this down, all alarm bells should be going off. They should be aware of what's going on right now, and I'm wondering, no, Doki gets taken out, no C4 coming through, it's only up to Uno now, he gets the first, will he get the second? No, People shuts him down, and Wolves, they find themselves with the second round on the board as well.
裏口階段取っても、あんだけ人数かけて取っても広がれる余裕をちゃんと残してるから、組み立てがマジでうまいわ。
And suddenly it comes as a surprise that the plant's going down.
その広がってもう一回エリア取り直しに来るっていうのはよく気づいてたけどね。
Wolves can get themselves a 3-3 split here. Wow, that makes things quite spicy for our second half. And to be fair, with how G2's games have gone, they've got a really good control on the first half. That is art.
余ってるからとりあえず置いてるだろ。
3 claymores. All decorating the bottom there, and I guess when they added the extra claymores, you may as well just throw them in, you know?
Why not, right? It's like, gotta be really sure that there's nobody jumping out from that window and staying alive at the end of it. As Wolves still all outside, having every window prepared with a claymore, so they're definitely certain no one's gonna try and go for a jump out, or otherwise they're gonna pick up another claymore kill.
あれもうちどうやって修正したんだろう。同じ防衛ポイントの守りだけど。
Let's try and get another 3. Alamao, again, he's leaning aggressively onto these stairs. You have to sort of have that pressure, and he's about to meet something that he can't quite pressure off. Hello, Monty.
そうだね。ガスグレード早めに使いたいよ
There
ね。
is that way of forcing it, and sprays over the top, hoping someone was ready on the shoulder to offer it, but now he knows his time and utility is limited. If he can't get a bite before this has happened, it's only really a matter of time before he has to be forced out of position. As soon as that last smoke
2
canister
人いるってこと
goes,
でバーチャーがカバーに行
what
ったら
can
ま
he
た4人がかり
do
だぞ。
against that Monty and against 2 players on one side of him?
That's it. It's like it's 2 players on one side, 2 on the other. Alamao is really stuck in a wool sandwich right here, and he really needs to support a Virtue and everyone else that he can get. Nade is coming out. Also, the wasted ADS. It's Alamao trying to push through, but he gets taken out. It's coming through from Mowgli as he opens up the side in his own.
カバーラインのバーチャーも抑えちゃった
Twice he's done that on the top of Black Stairs. Just got that first take and moved on behind it to try and get the momentum onto the second. And twice it's Alamao and Virtue that have suffered. And now with a Monty creeping their way, and he can just turn his back to this and try and get the plant. At first, he's going to ping it.
今回は最大2枚割ってるのが修正ポイントなの
over
か
there, but with no impact,
出
it
た
has
亀
to
設
come down
置
to Doki on a C4 if they want any chance
これ
of
止められ
stopping
ないんじゃない
this.
どうやって止めるの
That, unfortunately, is not in a position to get the catch. They have to try and force the gunfight. They lose out at the top of Black Stairs. The Monty, you assume, will redeploy. There it is in the corner. And this is as close to impossible as it really gets. Although there's 2 players, what they're up against here is not only
窓車線か
guns in a post plant with kind of full control around the site, but this Bibu in a corner with a shield deployed, pinging every step Uno takes.
うまい
Just a
ね
sentinel down there, right? Like, if you're in a
今回はモンターに
1v6
入
and
れ
there's a Monty on the
て
board, they will
広
know
が
where
ら
you're
ずに
coming
どちらか
from.
というと
It's
裏
gonna be
口階段
hot
だけ取り切っ
right
て
on top of you.
モンターニュでの
Chance of winning
プラ
is
ント
going to
で
be
プラントを
really
高め
small
て
and
プラントできる確率を高めて取り切るっていう
Poked on
さっきの揺さぶりというかさっきの攻め方があったからこそ次は外し気味にいったけどまあモーグリの2キルがすごかった
They are suddenly in a very risky spot for that guaranteed place.
問題はここからだね実は攻め
So again, a lot on the line here. On G2, onto their attacks, they need to go off with a flying start. Liking to see that Sense is on the board. They are just bringing that unique ability in the light screens. It's kind of functions like a smoke, but it's also completely different. But you can just lock off entire hallways like that quite effectively. Whereas a single impact grenade would stop that from happening. But I think they want to combine this with Alamao, of course.
Sensible rolls through, but the Kiba barricade instantly deployed. P4 gets themselves sucked in, revealed on a drone, but it stops the first push behind it. Doki has to go in for the fight and just pushes and takes it. He's now on the other side. They didn't have the diffuser with them, but there might still be the threat of do they. Mowgli's going to go for a fight underneath and just tears through. No, it was Bibu even. Mowgli got Benja, but Benja got Mowgli in a sort of trade out, and Bibu was the one who gets the carrot on the opposite side. Caught on a drone and a reveal. Pick up and rotate round. Virtue's picked up the kit in the meantime, with Deadshot watching on drum. Virtue's just going to roll it through. Deadshot gets the take. Uno gone. The sense wall goes up. Alamao's watching to see if they rotate round, and there it is. But they win it out. Can't quite have the reactivity of Bibu. The minute 10, another roll of that. They know that Warden's on the board. They know that they can see through the game. They have to take the fight, and they win it out. Just Bibu left in now in a 1 versus 1. Just Doki left. He opened the round with the spray. Bibu bit back underneath, 55 seconds. He's going to hold onto the plant. He should be able to pop it off at this point, but they can use this time to get close. In fact, no, it's Virtue left. Virtue's all that's needed.
That's what I'm wondering, because it gets off, instantly pre-fires, and no, not even a ping, so there must have been the sound cue or anything like that that he responded on so quickly. Boarded by that. More still to be gained. Electrified wall, so that means they cannot instantly open up. They do have to impact EMPs, but their range is significantly shorter. Will still hit it though, as it was of course a bandit battery and not anything else. Kate is banned. Meaning you only have to hit the floor, nothing else. Doki pushing through from Geisha. He's going to be sidelining right to a long angle, but the castle barricade is going to be stopping him from doing so. It'll be quite dangerous actually hitting that, because someone could be prone all the way on the other side, shooting at your feet if you decide to start punching it. Very extended hold actually. The mirror windows out there with the castle barricades all around Geisha and T.
Yeah, a sort of full stretch. An Aizen, what can else be seen around? And Doki with the slow crouch. He wants to fight against Shinka underneath.
結構アーマーパネルが
They're
重い、
hoping he gets the angle. Shinka seems to
こ
know
の構
and
成でいくと
just sprays off. He's waiting for the movement to come back round. In the same time, they've moved all the way up towards mirror, and they've just blown the mirror window open. At this point, they were hoping for the catch, but also revealed the player. That's a sneaky camera.
Richard just holding a man, but he's just delayed on the trigger, and
魂の
P4
横
manages
ダッ
to
シュ
rotate out. Now they do have a camo man. They do know
いいカメラ入って
exactly
ん
where
な
he is.
俺
And E1D is going to be stopping him from moving any further, so they hope to actually be able to reply on the back of that.
来た
Suki
BB
now pushing in as well. They're aware of the player inside the drum, but the,
あれ
oh, the shield gets taken out by Bibu, and instantly the head follows right after. So that's the entry kill. 1 minute left on the clock.
I mean, he killed so quick,
BB
it spun the
だったのか
camera around as well. P4 gets the next, and a minute left. The 3 versus 5. They've suffered here on trying to just break through onto drum. As I said, it becomes this choke point. You can see they're actually retaking the top of Shrine as well. They've lost the mirror window there once upon a time, but now with the man advantage, they're confident to step in and make things
上がるはずのラインが上がらなくなっ
Mowgli
てる
gets one, Uno gets at least one back. And now with only Alamau left, he finds the breakdancing Bibu, who's already done more than enough damage this round. They looked like they wanted to fight for a second there, but Mowgli, rightfully so, pulls back. That being Keybird, doesn't really have the time, has to run his route. There's somebody behind Dragon, he just sees a sliver on. It's easy enough for Mowgli to pick up.
BB が負けたのが誤算だったな。
Even
way to attack in this game at this point. There, as you said, it sort of it felt like they couldn't quite get their way broken across the
いや今多分マジで冗談抜きであそこで打ち合って勝つっていうために BB 持ってってたと思うからマジで弱かった。
Nuno holding on to a position that he often played on the other side of in the previous rounds.
It's going to be a closure from all the way down below. Drone is not going to be able to pass through anymore, I believe, from Uno. Actually, might have just actually fit through at the very bottom of it. Do have that little bit of information to go through. The Bravo drone hacked one PC utility, but nothing more than that. Quickly shut down afterwards. Now 2 minutes are left on the clock, and G2 are left with basically limited information. Still not really focusing that much onto that top floor. Alamau's out there. I believe there is Doki as well on the opposite side of things, but everybody else seems to be trying to find a weakness in the hole, the Wolves, and see if they can utilize it. Benja as well, hoping for someone to just rotate, hoping for someone to just take a bit of a gander. Look like, take a look even at that. Does Nefnat get spotted? Is that going to explode like this? That's the big question, because Doki wants to follow up on the back of it. He shot it. Works as well.
It's been taken. Alamau holding on and pressures towards the window as Doki suffers as he tries to take a step into the building. It's Bibu still eagle-eyed watching the cross, but as Uno gets Mowgli, that space becomes a little bit thinner.
Bibu が限界ポジだな。
Can they stay in that position? Well, to be honest, how many options does he have to get out of there? He falls slightly further back as the smoke covers the motion, but that shot sprays through on a premonition. And now is haunted by the ghost of virtue. Doki's round the corner to get some spiritual revenge. Bibu still in that power position in the corner is making things tricky. Now he is the only one left.
このタイミングで1回来るんだ。
He gets dropped. That could be a big surprise factor. Are they aware of Bibu?
ビブに寄ろうとしようかライン下げようとしようかっていうところでポジション組んでたところで差し込まれたね。
might start to happen. The spray comes back against them.
アーマーパネル閉まってるからまあ一旦無視していいのか。
They have to see if they can try and do this as
ハッチさえ見られなけれ
cleanly as
ば。
possible. He was dropped at least. He realizes he wants to fight the teammate on his shoulder, but Benja might have different ideas. Ooh, they know that they're roughly around that corner. There's a bit of motion, but the cover's from Bibu.
Oh, B4 jumps over and finds another kill as well. And now it's a 2-on-2 situation. There's another ping to come through. Doki drops. It's only left to Uno now. And a 1v2, 9 seconds left on the clock. This is looking very unlikely for him. He needs to make a push happen, but look at that. The keeper barrier is going to be holding him back. He needs to go for a jump, but the time will be running out. And Wolves, they take the lead. Just a single round, but it's the lead.
On it, which they...
ラマーリョ監督が今タイムアウト取ったんじゃない？
On the door.
コーチか。
Need a Monty to be played out by G2 and see if they can shepherd out these players properly.
I mean, it worked, obviously, on the sort of change of the take of Wolves when they were wanting to rebuff that aggression, rebuff those angles. Some of these takes haven't quite been able to filter their way, and if in doubt, fall to the man that can be a walking wall, that can really get the lead in. Now, Uno's obviously getting some peeks and peers around. He's not full deployed, just so he can have a little bit of an angle round, but still safe enough.
ビブの立ち回りうまかったね今の。
Where will they try and
あのタイミングで下に引いてないと
here?
クロス組めなかったから、
Out from
クロス
underneath
カバー
bounce
しけなかった
grenades.
か
They
ら。
just want the precise
マジでう
calls
まか
on
っ
the
たよ。
location. There's the sort of break. Hit the walls, make some go of it, force the motion that Benja can maybe catch them on the back of. Deadshot has some eyes and ideas. Uno's under a lot of pressure. The impact, and Mowgli gets Doki. In the meantime, they're going for the rebuild. Has to pull back because of the goo mines. Mowgli takes a lot of damage from underneath and the rest of it. As the Monty hops back in, Deadshot. Not entirely alone. We can see the Kiba barricades, but those impacts utilized. There's an impact from underneath.
Benja
gets the cover.
力イズパワーで解決してくれる。
Look at this. Uno is just really forcing them, bullying the player back.
So back to site you go. Already enough damage is done to my team. We'll take it from here. As he's deciding to control some drops that are coming through from Wolves as well, just making sure to have people downstairs able to play it vertically as well. And maybe even go for a flank later on. Now, Alamau, he's afraid of a potential jump out. He's just waiting on for now, of course, already on that rappel. So has the opportunity to quickly transition into that by looking through the window, putting some pressure onto that instead. As Uno's prepping his drone, I'm not sure if he's setting it up. Oh, he's going up top. He's scouting out. So those two players have gone unspotted on the bottom floor. Trying to gold? Assume that's going to be his plan.
I mean, that's what they're sort of angling up to. Their eyes onto gold. They're getting that breached open. You've got Alamau watching the cross and the rotation there, potentially up the side, but with the players inside and with one underneath, makes things a little bit dicey. And as I said, this late round, this moment is when G2 need to pick things up. Uno went for something tricky, but almost suffered himself. It's Shinka with the spray over the top. Gets rid of Uno, gets rid of the Monty that was causing so much problem here. 15 seconds, they've got to try and send it. They send the first, there's the response. It's suddenly a 1 versus 2. Alamau's all that's left. He's peering up some stairs that Deadshot knows about. And once again, the late round has bit G2, that final.
タイムアウト取って止められマッチポイントに持ってかれたのはかなりきついね。
Here in a sort of must guarantee game.
いや俺ウノやっぱ優秀だと思うけど。
G2 take something back. They're pulling things back.
もうちょっとキル取ってほしいなって感はあるけど。ああやべ。
I mean they've put other teams in before, but this time first goes away from the Mowgli, tears the head off of Uno.
エースがどっか割りに行くっていう展開がこれできなくなったな。建物階段もあるけど。また時 BB 使ってんだけど。何が狙いなのこれ。
It's a very painful way to lose your ace though by just a swing from Mowgli the way it happened. Luckily Alamau is also playing the hard breach, which means they can open up everything that they need to open up. Let's that didn't quite succeed due to the electrification on the back of it, so the mirror window will stay closed. As barricades at least get opened up. Grenade to be bounced on the back of it, but Shinka already found himself in a bit of a safe angle where he doesn't really have to worry about grenades that much. And you see it on the staircase as well, utilizing the little gap underneath the castle barricade to see if they can find just that one G2 player overstaying their welcome a bit. But the amount of grenades that get tossed in, I believe everything almost but one has gone through. Nothing has found the player.
A minute 20, all that's left of G2's chances in this game. Unless they can try and push this over, they've got to see if they can force out this position. A power play before. Attempt at that. Over the top, Mowgli just steps in to fill the gap. It's such a narrow line. That's his second time he's threaded it. The swing round goes against them, but P4 has the cover. It's a 2 versus 3. Bibu is down. Virtue on this side, you assume they're not going to be able to get the player up, which will bring it back to the 2 versus 2. Couldn't quite keep him up. Alamau, though, doesn't want to be baited into the fight. And there it is, the take. 40 seconds. Shinka Replaces the C4 underneath, waits for the call, hopes that they just step in, thinking it's a little bit.
いや、思い切った守りだ
Doesn't
ね。
have a lot of health here. The flashes come out.
ここでニトロを配置して。
Of the player underneath. Alamau's looking for the fight, looking for the engagement. There's pings on the C4. It's gone.
どこだニトロ?
They're going to see if they can maybe hop up and over around, go for the 2 versus 1 onto P4. They're around the back of him, and he's caught out entirely.
いや、これニトロ一発か。
Shinka in the dual die clutch situation. He gets the first, he gets the second, and Wolves take all 3.
G2 almost managed to draw that round to their own
殲滅
hands.
判断だったんだね。
Just enough in that last round, just able to get this with a 7-4 victory. And I said it, like a 3-3 is a very good split for Wolves. It's very problematic for
ウルブズやっ
G2.
ぱ強え
They
な。
managed to win one more.
バータさちょっと辛いな ITB。
It is.
4試合目行きましょう。
Something we also have to keep track of is, of course, the new operators that joined the lineup ever since. Fenrir, I think, is the most impactful one we've had so far, and we've seen great use of the AFNATs today, where basically you prevent them from doubling up on you. We saw it here on Clubhouse, where a player was in the bathroom and one on the main entrance, but due to the FNAT on the main entrance, the player on the bar could not be taken down by a double swing. So let's see how that plays in and which team can deal better with the wolf-like operator.
Oh, woo.
Woo. They did just win, so that's
ああ、ディフューザーウーノがやられた位置に落ちてたのか。
I had to not come down early to grab a drink because my girlfriend was watching and she's a Wolves fan and I didn't want to spoil the game.
The biggest Wolves fan there is, but that's the previous game, and this one is.
あの攻め方ってさ、1で割りに行って4で逆サイド取りに行くから、ウーノが一番最初に打っちゃうとそうなるんだよね。
Keeping some awareness and letting the opponents do this. Spend 30 to 40 seconds clearing out the top floor, slowly and steadily making sure that you're not going to get fell upon. There's the mute jammer. The free cam is not letting anything slide.
Everything gets seen now. There's no more hiding. Especially like Valkyrie cameras. That's what I like most about the... well, they will see them now because she's banned, but the free cam opportunity. Kanto very close to spotting a head out there. That's a head spotted now. It's going to go for double dips. Definitely tries to, but Pasha rotated off. He's not wanting to go for double dips.
I think that's it. Pasha realized he didn't get the opportunity either, but he knows that in that situation, you don't want to try and play that angle.
そうなん
as the
だ。
response and that awkward positioning here. Kendrew.
まあでもさっきのはさ、配置的に取りに行くのちょっと難しかったからな。
Looks for the option on the back end.
一回に降りないといけないっていうシチュエーションだったからな。
Clear, and you look at what still
まあ
needs
さ
to
っ
be
きのは
done
攻められ
here.
ないんじゃない?
And that includes obviously maybe some hatch control. Obviously, you know, Dan's here. Very trippy, but they can only see what you would regularly be able to see, regardless of the Aether that we can see here. It's very cool, though. As Kendrew, we can get the true taste of the Oryx. Pasha finds one. Joystick gets the cover. Kendrew swings into the Oryx, who gets them as well. As a stuck in the blind and a flawless.
ちょっと時間かけた割には
to start off your game against Virtus Pro. A great way to start off your game as whatever you see.
On a lot of time there, and really, obviously, there's not as much. There were too many times. It's the heat. There's not as much space that needs to be as fervently locked down. You don't have to get the full clear underneath to get some idea. And the Solus is going to make things trickier, though. Dan is going to be as active and problematic as possible. Watch the drones coming towards him and find the right time to either slip up or down. There is a very good idea of what is watching them.
Moving up through the garage. Trying to time this right with Yonko, who's looking to open up the wall, but has to go above the Mew Gemmer, most likely with the exothermic. It's going to be creating a bit of an awkward angle, but still going to be vaultable and going to be pressure onto the side of VP. Joystick putting up his discs just to make sure there's no double nades coming in towards him. As Cash is going to be opened up sooner rather than later. The Monty going in is definitely going to be trouble. As I believe Noah just jumped down in time to get the kill to Joystick right before he fell into safety.
2
bodies down, but the trade out is Kanto, the player who's often been huge for some of ITB's play previously, getting the ace in the very first game and doing a lot of the damage in the second. So, down to the rest of them. Try and move on behind Kendrew, get some swings onto that multi-shield as well. You've still got big guns up against you. You've still got what is remembering a soft floor. If Dan goes for the rotate with the
こ
impact,
こだよね。今この情報を取ってる時間がどこまで効率化できるかだね。
and the soft under the plant can define this round. It's happened on this site before, and he's still a loose cannon that they're still trying to find.
ダンさんリテイク狙ってる。だからここで停滞するからさ、こうやってダンさんに後ろから食いつかれるからさ、前の推進力を上げないといけない。1分だ。なんか時間かかってる。
They've spotted Dan already. Because if they have, they can just plant on the bed as soon as they manage to take the final 2 players that are actually on the side.
どっかにニトロ置いたんじゃないかカメラ。
4 into Logi out there. Definitely try and bait the Monty to go for that push. Is already passed. Gonna find Noah though with the C4, so still someone at least.
あ、逆に現地捨ててるんだ。現地に入れさせてなんだ。あー、なるほど。
Doesn't even need to get the final one. Virtus Pro, they had that.
なんか2ラウンド見る限りパッとしねえぞ。ITB の攻めがあんなにワイルド戦良かったのに。
If any of us start using that call, do you know who would be the most angry at us?
Who would be?
Parker. I think even if he's not listening to this stream right now, he just shuddered. He said that
he just felt it in his very presence.
To no good by calling it the tiny weenie.
ハイドにしばかれてるっていうか、なんか情報丁寧に取りに行くんだけど、相手の思惑をつかめてないっていうのが正解じゃないかな。
Won't.
It's a bit of a mouthful.
It's a bit of a mouthful. Andrew gets the read through, onto the site, and the Monty is ready to try and roll in. They want to try and strong arm it. However many times we said it's a multi-step process. It's a multi-step process describing the multi-step process. The first has been done. The bulletproof on the back end will just give an idea of when the pressure's coming through. They have the option to maybe try and take that out if Kanto wants to fire across. But always a Noah fire across each other's faces, moving them. The Capitao is going to see if they can break their way out. And Kanto's cut through. Gets the kill onto Shepard as Kendrew's bullying.
いやでもこれさ、ケンドリューが前に行ったとしても、
I'm not really sure why he's in that position and how he suddenly got there because there is nobody to support him.
アズールまだここだぜ。
You're saying he was bullying the smoke, it was the other way around. Push was bullying him as he got up that close. Now smokes are being deployed by the Capitao. Azur is looking to potentially find a way inside, but the diffuser not currently in hand. It's been dropped on the balcony. They need to pick it up first. So he's done that now. Kanto looking to get away in from construction, but they're not giving him any space. As Pasha takes down Azur, it's only up to him now. Taken out early in the last round. Needs to clutch it now to impact. Star will find his way. We'll shut it down for a 3rd round and a complete rotation for Virtus Pro.
At the K.
ああ、シェパードの位置ね。はいはいはい。
One as a more.
I can just sort of we've seen our
いやでも根本的には入れさせるっていう判断なんだよ。
their defense. Let's see if they can.
でもそのさ、ドローン丁寧に回してる割には、そのハイドをちゃんと終えてないっていうのはだいぶ ITB ダメだと思う。30秒ぐらい止まるじゃん。このチームなんか銀行の時そんな感じじゃなかったの。
They have an idea of joystick's presence. Fire of the suppression comes around the corner.
今のは明らかにモンタとのラインが合ってなかったな。ケンドルがなんであんなに早く入ったのかがよくわからん。
and Kante's on the other side. Noah actually suffers in the fight against Joystick in the end. He wants to slip his way down, but he's being caught from all sides. He somehow, oh no!
It was a 4th.
There was 4 players.
この辺りうまいよね、
hunting them and good. It's the right decision because A, they get the kill, but B, the positions of those players mean that they now know a lot is clear a lot quicker than they did last time.
No, for sure. Well played by ITB there, but it is comedic how it took 4 people, and the last one is there to pick him up just in time. But you remove Joystick, that's great. That's the mute of the board, and now you have top floor control. Still need to work on that first floor, though. Drones are still going about. In the meantime, though, soft floor destruction has already started by Azur. The minute 20 on the clock, and you need to open up those hatches as well in the meantime. That's going to be that big ask. I mean, if you look over to the right-hand side of the screen, there's plenty of utility to do so. You have the Hibana, you have the Ace, you have the Heartbreach gadgets on side of Noah, so they shouldn't really struggle if it wasn't for these Kate charges. So EMPs will have to go off first, which just slows down the entire process just a little bit more.
See, stock hatch get popped open on the side, even without the audio. Trust me, it's been done, and here comes Next bit of silent siege, doubling down with the EMPs to make sure that gets popped. The X-Kairos came a little bit late, but
割れるべきとこ割れたけど、
it'll be good.
時間はなくなってきてるね。
I'm assuming that was also
ちょ
kitchen
っ
that we
と
had.
時間平面アプローチ進んでないからきついんじゃない？
The openings have been made. Now they need to try and force their advantage a little bit. Always takes a lot of damage. Opening onto the triple wall is looking to be made. Indeed, time is not really working out for them always. Looking up the impact trick. I'm not sure if he succeeded at it. I believe it's still opening up. So he's digging deep, but the player in the main stairs will be able to pick him up. And now it's a 3-on-3. 10 seconds left. Afnats will be blinding ITB. The 2 players left. The fuser needs to be picked up. Azur needs to go for a plant as the time is about to be running out. Dan, he needs to find a kill that stops this round from happening. Fighting at the last very millisecond. No.
1が
Oh no.
1 が
Emotions on Dan's face.
でも今シェパードの多分ダウンで位置分かってたな。このダンの落ち着いた感じすると多分シェパードが爆弾の裏でプラントしてるっていうところまでやられるまでに報告してたかもしれないな。ちょっとキルタイムのタイミングが分かんないけど。
Kanto and Dan in another fight.
もったいないね。
And it goes Dan's way. Clutches the round and instantly takes down Kanto.
今の攻めすごい良かったけどね。
Problem inside strip.
I'm still sort of thinking about the last round.
おー、職人
There it is, tricked out.
職人シェパード来た。
That exothermic. The wall will stay solid, and Shepard is happy to sit around, recollect a slightly faulty wire. Got that fixed, and he'll move away. And he pulled that off even with that window open. I'm not sure if they did that just after, or they didn't have somebody watching it, but and it's a bit of a blow. And again, if you're unaware,
感染カメラのあれでブラックミラー見えねえんだよ。
mirror windows, even if they are blacked out on our side, the players
今回は割れ
fine.
た。
They have the
ダブ
angle
ル割
there.
りか。
Potentially, Selma's going to hit onto that back wall if they start trying to put pressure towards it.
カントちょっと今日やられすぎじゃない？銀行あんだけパフォーマンス良かったのに。
can trick both. He can choose one, but then instantly he's going to be in a bit of a bad situation. Of course, he couldn't do that on the previous wall, as there was just a single one he needed to trick at that point. I believe, as all EMPs have been used right now, and Joystick will find Kendrew, this bathroom wall will stay electrified, and that's...
Oh,
why do you go for the
Noah
peek there?
がめちゃめちゃ頑張ってる気がするけど。
From Noah.
それでも3キルし
And
か
that
取ってない
removes the bathroom player. Suddenly opens up some opportunities for ITB here.
Yeah, I mean, they went for the peak. The bathroom player's been replaced. They still have the man advantage. They also still have a solace underneath. Dan is ready, waiting, and willing for whatever comes their way with 2 impacts against the soft floor. Now, Azur does get the end of Joystick. The flashes come through, so Pasha just sort of ducks and ducks, but doesn't survive as they take over. 40 seconds, and neither of the 2 remaining players inside the site does get the drop on the one watching on the window. Away at the worst time, but they don't know that he's there potentially, so he still has something to work with. They're going for the plant on the one bit of concrete on the far end. There's the reveal. The impacts are going to come out, and well, they're going to have to go for the swing. Reveal the player inside the bathroom, Dan coming up the back stairs. They're going to have to try and isolate one of these fights. Logistics might be the first to come round, and Dan, there's a lot of damage to Noah. Because the player has moved off. Now always is going to try and swing onto logistics. It's almost a chain here. And whoever wins this first engagement, which is always, gets the lead in. But Noah wins his right back, a 1 versus 1. There's Noah for the next. And they may have been robbed of the round before, but this time... メイン階段の情報取りに行った時にやられなかったのはマジ優秀だったな。
Well played.
お、何使ってる？
Kanto and potentially Kendrew even. Wrong way around of who I think we need to get into the game. Getting into the game. As I said at the start of this, Kanto has been huge, and he was almost removed early on from a peak, whereas every single Virtus Pro player has been able to have some good performances. You've got Pasha 5-2, Dan 5-1,
ベテランコンビが
and then pretty much everyone else is still positive.
沈んでるね。
It's just that split here of needing everybody. Get into the mix, get into the model of things, regardless of the ops and the roles that they're playing.
あそこ突き上げできない場所だよね。コンクリのとこだよね。
As the Twitch drone is coming into play, it's going to be
まあそれ見越して多分下に処理すること分かってプランとしてたんだ
Think
け
of
ど。
the goo mines, think of the Afnats, not the
まあ監視で1枚やられて、下のソリスに対して気づいてたんだったら、まあそれは安全なところまで行けてプラントする余裕はあるよね。
That's going to be information. Are you going to go for a swing? You're still a player out on the rafter, so I'm not sure if you want to truly commit yourself to the grenade. Oh, yes, that might be.
いいグレネード。うわ
All in one.
素晴らしいグレネードだね。情報が取れてたとはいえ、そこから投げ込まれるっていう想定はさすがにないよな。
just that play across the top. It's sort of two birds and one stone.
お
Now the Fenrir gadgets that were activated before their death will stay activated.
マットオングーマイエン。
Moved around, then obviously you get
やはり今シーズンはこれができるのか。
player in what is a little bit of a crux in a swing position. It will free up underneath. With this wall open, they're now going to maybe look to isolating. Yep, the rafters player. Joystick's taking a lot of damage. Slips their way through there.
So stuck.
Yes, it's such a delicate route.
So stuck.
Again, the timing there. They know exactly where he is as well. Kanto just wants to drift into a position to fight, but Azar actually takes the kill.
And that's the tricky part of CCTV. They're like, it is such a defined step-by-step plan on how to take control of it. ITB are executing that perfectly right now. 2 clean kills. Wall opened up. Garage in their hands. All they need to do now is start pushing towards the side and see if they can get that diffuser down. Now, you saw Noah was getting shot at. Yonk, in the meantime, is getting that plant ready. I believe that might be on the breach. Kanto has gone down, and no one's there to reply to it. It's only up to Dan now in a 1v5 clutch situation. He will find it first. Still many more to find. 40 seconds and counting. For him to try and get for a defuse, but by the way it's been planted, it's going to be very difficult for him to get it.
やってるけどね。
They had it underneath. That was a brilliant round. Really leapfrog because of the window
side, and he's hit himself into a corner. Surely a drone comes through.
So this is it.
There's the mute jammer, but this mute jammer can be got from the window. So I'm like that.
Yeah. Go on, Shepard.
So now you go, well, why is that mute jammer there? What's going on? Nothing on the roof. Oh, look, there's a player in the corner of the room.
The plan didn't see him now.
I'm going to describe this as the plan has failed. Unless they get a kill out of this. And they still might. Because we know what happens in Siege, where sometimes even if you're holding all the cards...
And this is literally pretend you didn't see him.
I think they're going to go above and shoot down. Look at the position of always. There it is. Yeah. The buck has gone fishing. They have someone watching on the window as well. Jonker is breakdancing for their life. The hatch gets open and they're out of there. They survived, sure. And they wasted a lot of time. But I'm still a little confused.
There you go, there goes the
booty.
Properly placed.
ちょっと投げるし見せたい。本当はもっとメイン階段下ぐらいまで行ける。
Oh, bash it through the soft and Dan gets the pickup. Joystick takes a lot of damage. They've been able to get some kills on the back of it. There's the continued grinding up of the floor itself. As we said, the corridor is great and the kitchen floor is also pretty good. There's not really anywhere else you could use it if you're attacking directly onto the site, apart from other top floors to clear, but they've already done that. Got a couple of kills out of it. Now this is when we saw ITB slow down a bit and have to force the pressure of time. Two-body advantage. Virtus Pro, how quick can you start trying to get the pressure onto the site and the plot?
The amount that has been opened up, if you need to do that with a sledge or a buck, you're just working for basically the entire round to get that to the level it's currently opened up. There's so many vertical angles now to play with, but they still need to find themselves into the side. And Dan, he's going to be leading the charge. As we can see all the way through Dirt Tunnel and Cedar is going to be a barricade on the other end. And they have to take care of that first. Shepard on overside on the actual kitchen hatch needs to be careful because there might be players in there. Feet get spotted, but the kill doesn't quite get connected.
Yonker, I mean, they've escaped a difficult situation before, but that one was a little bit too difficult. 18 seconds, a 4 versus 2, and they get caught out on the final swing. Noah with a double is able to suddenly bring this into maybe possibility. Always takes a bit of damage. Dan's trying to find a place to plant, but they're inside the Fenris. They've got to wait for that to clear. Shepard's holding a dance in the angle. Always is on the other one. Kendrew above! Kendrew above! Gets the double! Gets the pick!
Kendrew のドヤ顔出たな今。いつの間にリテイクしてた。
Rotate up. Or was he still out there this entire time?
いや状況的にはもう水平の車線通らない位置だったから無理だなと思って見てたら。ケンさんが上に上がってたぞ。全然俯瞰で見えなかった。
Everybody's radar, not just ours.
sorry I confused you for medics, Red Lake.
Twitch drone on its way to hunt some utility. First breaches are happening as well. To the CC wall. It's going to be putting down some pressure, make sure that you know, players out there are not going to be feeling as inclined to go and rotate through that window, especially if you're sending a bit of an attack through highway. Joystick just went off at the worst timing ever there. Two people rotating back out as he steps back from the motorcycle.
めちゃめちゃ6回くぐっていった。
But they know they're
すげえ
downstairs
ロ
now,
ック
so
敷かれ
there's
てた
only
の
one
に
other
今
way up.
ジョイスティックとあと倉庫ガレージ倉庫窓から車線敷かれてたの。
Still left, and they've been able to get this quick pressure onto CC. It's been removed, as he said. Although they didn't get the kill onto the rotate, it's still a good bit of pace. Getting that final foot over the line. It's almost the biggest cost that we've seen across a multiple games today. Is that final 20 seconds, that final 30 seconds of a round. So maybe it's not down to how quick you get on the start. Azure is prepped
懐かしいこの展開方
to
シー
play
ル
a
ド。
game against this.
まだウエストは割れてないんだよね。
And maybe get a
ま
roll
あでも
through.
2階の逆エリアは取れてるからな。ああそうか、物流ここまで固く守ってるから引いて守る感じなんだな ITB は。ああ今の F ナットパスなんですけど。
It's going to be big though, because those Fenrir F-Nats, they have been proven troublesome for attackers, especially in like the last 10-20 seconds of an execute to come through. So taking that one down at least is opening up an extra opportunity as Junker is looking to go aggressive. Find himself back into the bathroom now after dealing a little bit of damage towards Dan. More drones are coming out. It's not quite the Twitch drone to take care of a mirror window, as they're aware that the desk is going to be free. Grenades are being bounced around. They need to find a kill, and then does so onto Kendrew.
First falls into VP's favor, but it's only
30
seconds left. They've got to try and get the last swing round. A big explosion doesn't net the kill, but Noah swings in and Pasha just swings right back. Joystick on the door. Dan ready to go for the hop on the window potentially. Another C4 pops, but a little bit too early. The second VP player that enters entirely blinded out. The grenade was to force the motion. The player rotates around. That one does down Shepard, and he was the man with the kit. So suddenly 10 seconds, 2 versus 1. They got to see if they can either find the kit, get it fired, or get the player itself. It is just the watch here, the cover, the swing round. He's able to win out the first. He goes for the second. It's a post-plant round. And Asa gets the clutch on a quad kill.
ITB さん
ITB
リニアさんこんにちは。 ITB ね攻撃がだいぶやべえなと思ったけど防衛でクソ盛り返し始めた。
4-4 equalize the scoreline. Then it's
right beyond long rounds.
さすがのバータスもタイムアウト。
Need to get rid of him.
いや ITB いい
So
ね。
what better way than bees and fire?
今の
And
結
multi-shield.
構劣勢だったんだけどね。
Might be asking for a lot here,
やっ
but
ぱ
I
ウエストの
definitely
壁
feel
割れ
like
てなか
that
ったのが大
might
きかっ
be
たね。
the angle they're going for.
まあでも結構クラッチ気味だからこの防衛ポイント一番きついからな。
So setting up the drones, trying to get the information. That's one. That's two on
し
the
かも
mezzanines.
あざみバンされてる環境だから。
Breach gadget is going to be used on one of the garage walls as well by Pasha, I believe.
俺たち攻撃はまだまだって少し前に関東
Hasn't
が
quite
言って
stuck
た
with it yet.
攻撃はね、銀行前回ワイルドの方銀行に比べて明らかにラインが合ってなく
Our
て
breach gadget on.
ちょっと何やりたいんだろうっていう
Next
ぐら
up
い
is
ふわっ
going
と
to
し
be
て
the
た。
fire arrows, but look at that. There's a player
防衛は
inside
ここま
strip
で
who might
す
be
ごい
going for a
相
bit
手
of
の
a
隙をつく
rotate
いい
here.
立ち回
Kanto
りで
checking if he's droned.
隙をつ
He's
け
gonna
て
go
る
for a run out. He's gonna check. Sees nobody. But if they repel up a little bit higher, that's ahead.
Oh, they're on the drone. They're making some work.
出そうで出てない。出た
There it is.
There he is.
Always shot down, play pigeon shot, and another round. Unfortunately,
Yeah,
I think it's been
always
the
ka.
opening death a couple of times here. You lose that twitch.
まあミラーは壊せてるからな一枚
reliance
は
on some gadgetry. It's not
え
enough
ジョイス
to
ティ
get
ック
into
な
the wall
の
because
モンタ
it's nothing that is directly stopping the wall. There's always a purpose
あ
behind it.
グリム入ってるグリム入ってます
It's gone 6. There'll be any fire. Pasha's taken some damage, so might not be able to put that. There you go. Fire
うわ
bees.
すごいグリムとカピタンの荷積みだ
Rotate out just a little bit right behind the
それは
shield.
かなり
There's
正
gonna be
確に
frost
火入る
mats
ね
right on the top of the
問
staircase.
題この
Joystick.
ね
You
絶対
better
ここ
see
にマッ
that
トがあるだ
one.
ろうことは読ん
A
で
lot
る
of impacts coming his way. Takes
う
a
わフラ
little
グ
bit
流
of
星
damage
群
for
来た
nothing
イ
too
ンパ
much
ク
to
トフラグ
worry
流星
about.
群来た
More bees, more reveal on Az's position. But when you have
8が
Joystick pinging it,
8が自分あと展開型シールドで守られてるぞ
He's hot and spicy and tucked in a corner right now, and いや、そりゃそうだよな。ケンドリー火炙りにされた。
This
is to watch it all. There's always the fear of the frost mat. He's creeping his way closer and closer. I mean, he has to keep this angle on the fight. Ash is able to get Pasha, which isolates them a bit. Pops up on the back end.
あ、下から攻略した。
The smoke is going to force some motion, and he swings into it, but can't get the connection here. All three.
いや、これはカントいいカバーだな。
Pretty much in a little clump on that back line, but getting that kill means Shepard is going to have to get off that rappel soon because with 20 seconds, they've got to see if they can get the cover.
ちょっと厳しいか。ジョイさんのモンターのポテンシャルにかけるしかない。うわ、いい位置にリージョン待ってる。ああ、ジョンからハイド刺さっちゃった。まずいぞこれ。まずいですよバンダさん。タイムアウト取ってサードポイントで流れきれんかった。大逆転 ITB。いや ITB やっぱいいね。さっきのもさ、遠隔ガスグレネードしっかり入れてからカントがピークするとか、個々の連携がよくできてる。
I believe there is also some lines or ways back to the side that are currently being watched by VP players. Kendrew is still preparing with the super shorty as well. This is a perfect moment to actually try and strike, to put up some damage, because, you know, a lot of people are working on setup. That opportunity has struck it. And as Azur is still up on the top, just rotating back and forth, he's going to get himself a way out, considering he knows that probably that wall has been opened up. He's definitely been droned out now, so he needs to find himself a safe way out, or just lean into the fight like he just tried to do.
案外広がってるから。バタスプロとしては当たるとこ決めないとだね。ここ確かに浮いてるからな、アズールのところ。
Well, there's a confrontation close as well. There's the ping. Do they know of that player? Were they droned? I don't know if they were, but it doesn't matter.
さすがのジョイスティック。
There was a ping around onto the back.
クリアリング漏れたから。
Catch, and that's the important part. Held his ADS.
I don't think they have actually drawn him out. The drone kept rolling, and it's lucky that they were so quick on the response out there for VP, picking up Azur. It's only a minute and 10 left on the clock. There's still an electric claw on the hatch, which is going to make it very difficult for them to open it up. And Shepard is doing his best. Get 2 more pellets on it, or actually to the side of it. It's not going to be. Is he hunting the claw like this, hoping to get it with some explosive damage? I believe that's what he's doing.
いや、ハッチあるのちょっとクリアしてんなこれ。
See where it is. Oh, right there. It's underneath the cart. It's going to be very difficult for them to get with the explosions they're trying it with right now.
Quick breakthrough. They're going for the pop. X-Kairos take a bit of time. So, you roll out the second.
バーハッチが35秒で割れたのはちょっと遅いね。
30 seconds though, and
時間ないぞ。
become even quicker at this point. The attention paid for the rest of the map. Late
盤面は ITB かな、一人やられてるけど。
We can see, and they'll find out now. This is softed up. There's a player on the left. Kanto might try.
結構カントの位置
Swing
きつい
into
ね
a
これ。
power position here with the hatch still locked.
ブルトレたら
Second, no, it's gone. There's another one. VP starting to close down quite epically onto the site itself. Shepard's going for the plant. Kendrew's round on the back. IUI has disappeared, but we know what the fight is. It's a flawless.
ここはちょっと当たりどころ作れなかったね。
The pressure on.
遊撃出てたのは良かったけど。
from Virtus Pro now. Who is going to be the first team
ちょっと
to break this
浮いちゃったね。
You could have called either name at various different points. Dan sprays over the top here, offers some protection. The quick break. Noah wants the fight. Not quite coming into his favor.
もともとサポートだった気がするけどな。
It's a lot of damage done by one of those bugies out there. Just toss it right through the door. Impact Tricks coming through. It's going to take the first set of X-Kairos out. Be plenty more where that came from. Shepard putting up the next 4. So a quick check there if there was like anything up above. Now Valkyrie's banned, so they weren't checking for cameras. Kenzo's looking to go quite aggressive here. Into the storage room, lets them know about his presence as he fires a single shot. They're still going around the corner, still cutting the pie. Joystick's long gone, and he rotated around. Now has the opportunity to go directly towards the side, and that's exactly what he's doing.
I mean, he has eyes on. He's picked up a couple of cheeky kills in this manner before. He doesn't know where he's being shot from. swung the wrong way, but at least there's other VP players acting on the back of it. However, there's not many VP players left always. He's in a danger position. If he goes unchecked, he might be able to steal a sneaky kill on the back of it, but look who's above him. Hey, remember that round a couple of rounds ago when they got a couple of kills from this exact position? Well, they're looking to retake it. Uri, Kendrew, both there. Shepard does have the kit, but he needs a route through, and he is the one held off here. He's hoping to sneak in the hatch. Might not know that there's two players only about 10 feet away.
They shut it always, so they definitely know someone's upstairs, but he's afraid that they're in the kitchen right now. So he flashes it, which gives away his position as well. There's actually nobody in here. What do you do now? If you drop the hatch, you'll be shot from above. If you take the fight up top, well, you might lose the kit, and with that, the round and the opportunity for a full three-pointer.
Andrew's still holding on to the angle. They know exactly where they are. Looks the
そうなんだよな。カバーがちゃんと敷かれてんだよ。これでディフューザードロップだもんな。
Coin isn't in their favor. ITB, they get themselves on to match point.
VP に対して先にマッチポイント取ったぞ。
And I said it. They won.
Dang. Now, on their six.
おしょんしょんタイム入っちゃった。
Watching it on the highway. There is going to be
いやマジで ITB いいんだよ。まあでも今日の攻撃はマジで課題多かったな。
Towards the bathroom and towards the jacuzzi wall. Now all four bandit batteries have been pre-placed. Azar is finding himself inside of mezzanines, just hiding. The rafters, just hiding. He doesn't want to try and trick. He just wants to be there to take a fight, and probably also realizing that, well, if there is a Thatcher, there is two breachers, there's nothing I can do about it anyway.
まずウエストを割る。で割れたから
There it is. Wall has been opened up.
に入る。
And that's step one. The next one will be to try and take the control of bathroom.
それ割れるの？割れないよね。エレクトロクローだよね。そうだよね。エレクトロクローじゃない。ショックワイヤーだよね。いや、シェルンそこで2個使ったの結構でかいぞ。11さん。
I am still without audio.
Yeah, I'm as well. I just pinged him.
ゲームを聞いてる。
Getting the drones rolled across there. Looking to see if they can get control of CC. Push out the player onto red. See the Iana's getting the full read as well. The FD shield is there on the swing round onto the top of red itself. They have the ADS. They've got the drone just tucked close on the corner. Azar is tucked underneath by the box as well. And Noah slips out. Kanto just shoot Noah.
Himself, yeah.
We get sound back for that.
急に戻ってくるゲームを。
Just in time. I was about to ask you to work on your voice actress skills. Make the sounds for us. But ITB, they're still all alive on their defense. A VP, they've managed to gain some ground, but nothing too major yet. Azar is playing below. Has a C4 pocket, which could be absolutely huge if a push does come through from the logistics side of things. Now,
なんかね、VP も時間かかってんだよ。
It's not a lot of time. They still need to find themselves a way into the site, and it's a 5-on-5 execute, really, with almost little to no damage done. C4s are being pinged out, so they're aware that some of it has been pre-placed. But what are they going to do about it? They're going to have to shoot it out, or just try and avoid the area? And trying to get it with the next Kairos?
There's a couple of different routes to get the solve on that. There is that one is the most direct. Shepard goes down. You talk about direct. They don't want to go for the full confidence swing somehow. They push across. Can't dodge that though. Always in Dan. Get kills across the back, and I'm not going to say it was punishing the overconfidence, but we are screaming towards this. An overtime is occurring. Virtus Pro, they get that round.
いやでもオーバータイムか。オーバータイムか。ITB もったいないね。3ポイント取れてれば。
Driver seat to take this in an 8-7 again.
3ポイント取れてれば結構上位争いに名乗り上げられたのに、ね。まあまあでも2ポイント。
She hasn't really been played in any other games.
ワイルドにも勝ってるし。
If you're unaware, you can sort of make step-by-step thoughts, but impact will quickly remove them. So with the
ITB は広報も好感度高い。そうなの。
Against the removal of hatches, but otherwise, there's still going to be some focus and attention paid there. Kanto Looking for a pace here onto blue. The very first time they attacked this site, they were quite slow in getting the rest of the clear, regardless of all the players being down underneath. It definitely seems like they've learnt from that lesson. They're putting the pressure on early. They have the drone to watch to see if there's a rotate. They're getting their routes opened around the top as well. They don't have the ram. In fact, they don't really have any direct self-destruction here. No sledge, no buck, nothing to tear up all of that floor apart from just shooting through it and breaching charges.
Quickly, breaching charges are made for this, so they often do quite a little bit of damage. Opening is going to be made. Single Thatcher EMP is going to be tossed in, so if there was going to be an Cade, we've been able to actually trick it, but of course there was nothing on there to begin with. Now, as they look through the verticals they have just made, ITB, they need to find themselves a way in. Kitchen hatch being opened up as well. Second set of explosives coming. Wanting to try and trick that Pasha. Your feet are showing. Has to rotate out. Didn't deal any damage. Noah should put some damage down onto Pasha now. As the hatch is opened up, I believe after 6 or 8 Excaros being set up on it. ITB onto the next step. Open up the triple wall, maybe?
Well, that's where I think Pasha might try and loose their impact. They're not too far away. They could make a bit of a rotate before. They're hoping that the pressure comes, but look how many of the ITB players are circling around the top. There it is. It's always actually, in fact, it's the one that has the impact gets some of the damage done. The whole wall is going to get cracked open partially. Kendrew's going for the plant on the back end. Dan doesn't know. They've got to swing the corner and react. The cover's coming through, and it's a post plant. Sort of stolen right under the nose. Kendrew pops up and gets a kill. Kanto from the long range. And that was a brilliant play and plant and blow.
すごいフローレスで取ってる。
ITB, a
急に目覚めたぞ。
At this moment in time, this late in the day.
That must have been
イングレ敵に向けて投げる選手があれ多分ね、ガジェット壊すように持ってきてるんだけど、ガジェットと噛み合わないときイングレめっちゃ余るから、多分それで余裕があるんだと思う、イングレに。だから投げてんだと思うよ。本来であればガジェット壊すのに使いたいから手元に戻すんだけど、残しとくんだけど、多分ラムの増長とかそういうのもあってだとは思うけどね。
It's definitely something to wonder here as quick pressure comes into the garage from the side of VP. So Kendrew, you know, back then just walked in with a shield, always. Opening up the window on the side is going to be putting up some pressure from the highway side of things. Yonka taking small amounts of damage as well. It's a CC fit. Oh, the mirror window and an impact right after. I was wondering, he's like, what happened there? But the mirror window's out there, which makes the impact trickable. That's just going to happen again.
いや、そうだよな。音聞いて投げれば後ろに間に合うもんな。ヒートシャツなくなったじゃん。車線は通ってるけど、監視からのエントリーができなくなった。
But this is probably going to mean that that wall will stay shut because of the mirror window and how it's placed. Unless they can keep Azar at bay and make sure he cannot stand up to impact trick this wall.
ここでセルマ使うんだ。
I mean, things are starting to fall apart a bit. They've got to dedicate it. They do get the wall open, but it's such a big cost.
となるともう監視金庫が割れないって分かるから。
And you're thinking of where we've seen the rest of the Selmas used. You assume construction wall is still locked. Anything on the back end is locked. Garage was the only other place. We had those Selmas down there, so their routes through are limited.
フラグ吸われてる。ガジェットがめちゃめちゃ無駄遣いさせられてるね。ガジェットの空振りがうまいわ。
They can try and get a rotate round onto the other side of oil and hope some focus is drawn attention. All of the players are still standing, and the longer this goes on,
もうこうなるとガレージ絶対取りに来ないと。その監視のさ、我利用して攻めるってなると、窓かもうガレージ取るしかないからさ。でも窓からのエントリーはほぼ不可能だから。ガレージ取れてないと。ガレージに取れてるかガレージにアプローチしないと。いや、やられないように頭出さないとマジで偉い。ケンドリューがもうガチ守りしてる。ほら、位置バレてるのに全然動かない。
It's an option for VP, but Kanto still being down in the oil.
ケンドリュークソ耐えてる。
opportunity to provide some support as Yonka
マジで
joystick.
ミリでも頭出さない。
Kanto still tucked underneath. He's waiting for the
いやで
perfect
も今のカントの
moment.
情
And
報
to
も
be
でかいぞ。
honest, having a single player
Yeah!
with a big impact will just be
Kanto!
defining of this game. There's the 3 versus 4, 15 seconds. Shepard has to run the kit round, but they're paying too much attention. Always is all that's left.
Always 孤立してる。すげえ VP にも勝ってる ITB。マジか。前半6ラウンド見た時のもうこれ VP が結構サクッと決めたろうなと思って見てた。
Revenge on club, but it is theirs now.
Stage 1, they got
すげえ2連続オーバータイム勝ち。しかもワイルドとバータスプロだからかなりいいぞこれ。
An 8-6 for 2 points. And see how much it means for them on their faces. They are now in full contention for a playoff spot where they couldn't dream of it.
悪くないんじゃないの？じゃあ最後に順位表見て終わりましょうか。どっかに出てくるはず。で、右側が1だと下ね。これ分かりづらいんだけどさ。よし、順位表見ていこう。まずはグループ A。試合数がね、2と3があるはず。ITB はだから3試合やってんでしょ。3試合やって4ポイントか。ちょっと分かんないな。ITB はあと1戦。多分ね、こことここ見ればいいはずなんだ。シークレット2戦でしょ。で、ワイルド2戦でしょ。ITB だけ3戦か。他全部2戦だね。だからそうだね、3ポイント取って勝ったり負けたりしてもらわないと ITB はちょっと3位に入れるかどうかだね。でこっちも見ときますか。ウルブズ強えな。で G2 が3試合消化してんのか。なるほど。まあでもあと1回勝てば8ポイントでしょ。3ポイント取れば。で G2 残ってるの MNM か。ちょっと分かんないけどまあまあいけんじゃないって感じだね。でヒロイックはもうちょっと厳しそうだね。恋とヒロイックはすでに厳しそうだね。 ITB あと恋なんだっけ。あそうかシークレットに初戦負けたのか。それもったいなかったね。当落戦は7ポイントぐらいかなそうなると。はいというわけで今日もご視聴いただきありがとうございました。ヒロイックはちょっとねリーダーも出れないとなるといよいよって感じするね。まあウルブズはでも強かったわ。 G2 に対しても好きなしって感じだった。手数が多いやっぱり。今日も午前中見ていただきありがとうございます。午後もお仕事の方そして勉学の方頑張りましょう。僕も午後仕事でございますのでこれから準備して仕事に行きたいと思います。今日まだ EU あるよね。明日も午前中見れたら EU 見るんでよかったら遊びに来てください。というわけで長時間にわたりありがとうございました。また観戦配信とゲーム配信でお会いしましょう。お疲れ様です。ではでは。